Yes,
And now we're live.
However...
And I was saying, and now we're live.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're up to session number 56. And we're continuing the story of the group traveling to an alternate Earth. Just checking to make sure my volume is actually working in various places here, because last week's volumes were apparently very quiet.
Oh, okay.
So unless someone actually watches the videos and tells me, I have no idea if there are any issues.
Oh,
I had to replace all my two of my mics because I had damaged mics.
Oh yeah.
So I've now got two of the same mic, and I stuck one on the table to try to make it easier for people to hear.
So let's try not dropping things on the table. Although the bass looks okay for that.
Well, it is fairly good, and it is a very good mic.
Yeah.
So, you are currently in a... Well, it'll probably help if I actually moved the camera that I'm supposed to be looking at.
Yes. I also should get you to use Paul's actual picture, not the one we're using now.
Well, yeah, when we actually stick it up there, you will have to change over to a water type because color represents your actual affinity.
I didn't know that.
I had actually said that earlier at times. That was why I kept referring to you as that.
Well,
because color always tells you what they are.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you go over
no.
to water type.
No, I'm not going to because it already fits. It's just I went for that because that was the picture I found, and that's why I mentioned alcohol flame. And you didn't say anything about that, so I went, "Oh yeah, alcohol flame's blue. I'll go with that." Obviously not useful.
Everything here is color gives you a hint into what they are. So all blue always comes across as water themed. Okay, so you are currently in the middle of Castle Amber, where you are traveling into a alternate Earth, dealing with trying to bring back a dead prince. And
so he can save us.
More so, he can send you on the quest that required you to come back and save him in the first place.
Yeah, because if you don't do it, your ears start to hurt.
So if time starts to unwind, it makes it a bit interesting in what actually happens. So if you don't save him, someone must have. But when they save him and how they save him will be hard to determine.
Yes, because we won't have been there.
So that means I will introduce who's at the table. So first up we have is Stefan.
Hello, I am playing Tidal Rift, who has an affinity for destroying curtains.
No, he has an enmity with curtains that they don't reciprocate.
Obsession?
Oh no, that the curtains do follow him around now.
They do.
Okay, well, you've got a couple of curtains who
particular curtain nemesis that I have, so I will destroy them one day.
The fact that the adventure had an actual curtain ghoul in it was just fantastic.
So funny.
It's actually the name of the creature, curtain ghoul.
Cool.
And it did attack him.
He needs it as a familiar.
Yes, I'm known for attacking random curtains for good reason, and throwing perfume at random people which turns to holy water.
Yeah. Oh, and sometimes you attack curtains for no good reason, but you ignore that.
The amusing thing, of course, is that the attack by the curtain ghoul was one of the few attacks that he actually won against the curtain.
Well,
Yes.
that too.
He was more successful against an animated one than just a drapery.
Yeah, and that's why as long as I take the preemptive strike, I'm in good hands.
You did preemptively strike a couple of curtains and almost get defeated.
Minor details.
They're obviously more alert. They caught him by something. He thought he was catching them by surprise, but in fact they were just lurking in wait.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an art form. It takes practice.
And then we have Kesley.
Hello, I am playing Kupala Yaokai, aka Lonnie, playing the Makai human fighter. Really good at hitting things. It's a fun time. That's all I got.
We're back at specialists.
I can throw things at things.
very effectively.
Yes.
And you have a sharp stick.
I have a very sharp stick.
Yes,
Not afraid to use it.
a 3 times sharp stick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you've managed to hit things with it, many things.
And it's a little sparky.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's spicy.
it does cool and useful things.
And then we have Paul,
Who is the Celestial Warlock Party Healer Fwakuma Specialist.
And Law Master. Getting there.
Sort of working on Law Master, and is there another secret craft I've got to pick up?
Probably many. I'm going to fix those up when my brain works better.
Yeah. So one of these weeks.
Well, I'm getting the magical items cleaned up as I go.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
So
right.
you'll find most of the ones that the parties have now got what the original item was. So if you want to see what was different to what I'd done, you can actually see the original entry.
Yeah.
Because some of the things I did was a bit wacky in comparison to what they originally did. Well, the belts of giant strength now, if you're part giant, give you extra benefits.
Yeah. Well, there was for a lot of things you had
Racial things.
racial stuff for particular items,
Mm-hmm.
and from memory, you always get that when that item is made because the pattern is that
Yeah.
is that race. So a
And-
human making a dwarven item, it's still going to be dwarven to you.
Yep. Because the gods don't like many variants.
Yes.
And online we have Jeremy first.
Good evening, all. Yes, I'm playing Peredir, the Atruaghin tribesman who now no longer needs to be front rank fighter in the team thanks to certain additions. He can return back to his roots of being an archer from like a sharpshooter. But he's also trying to gain a better understanding of the greater world beyond the plateau, so that he can then return one day to fill his position as shaman of the tribes. That apparently Atruaghin is thrust upon him.
Isn't it people don't choose greatness, they get stuck with it?
Yes. You have it imposed upon you. All right. So.
And then we
And
have...
finally,
And then up last we have Cameron, whose character is currently face to face with the ghost.
Fun.
I'm Cameron. I'm playing a high elf paladin named Myron. Seems to just be continuously burying himself into something that he doesn't understand. Ergo, keeps touching the shield on his arm and keeps getting himself into trouble. Likes to think he hits stuff, contrary to popular belief, actually doesn't.
You've successfully hit things more than once.
You have hit things more than
More than once, spread across a few days.
Yeah, but more than once.
Twice.
Yep. Okay, so I've replaced the picture, and now he actually colour coordinates with the picture of the shield and the sword that I've got for him.
Well, some of them can actually be from a fire type race with a water type. That was what I was saying, is you can actually be multiple different things, and it still fits with your concept of the thing, but you just have water aspected instead of fire aspected.
you're just not necessarily
Yeah,
typical of
but
the race.
him being fire aspected fits what I've been doing and what I've been building and how I've been doing stuff.
Okay.
So as he's coming into his aspect, his hair's changed colour.
Okay.
It used to be blonde.
Okay.
So I'm doing it that way.
Okay. I'm happy with that. I was just giving you the option instead of forcing something one way or the other.
Yeah, that's actually an illustration from one of the published copies of Silmarillion.
It's very nice.
But as I said, it's now colour matched to his shield and his sword.
Okay, so last session you were traveling through the lands of France during a World War I era combat where the Inquisition is traveling around with anti-magic.
And very rude.
And their task is to rid the world of magic and of all its sorts.
And they're doing an extremely good job, unfortunately.
Oh, hey.
Using magic to delete magic.
Actually, they're not using magic. That's the
No.
trick.
They're using ritual.
No, they're using magic-eating demons. They're
Ah,
not
so they
using
struck
magic-
up.
They're not using magic itself. They're using summoned magic-eating demons.
Silly. They don't know what they're playing with.
No, they don't.
Exactly.
Mostly.
Magic eating demons.
But
Yeah.
they believe they're working, they're acting in
Well-
God's will. Unfortunately, God in this case is Thanatos.
Yes, which means
Um,
they are in fact working in God's will and with His tools, and they're doing a bloody good job of it.
And when you think about a god who is known for his thoroughness, his planning, his contingency planning,
He's a proper bad guy.
he is the person you never want to go up against, which is who they're up against on Wednesday night.
Yes, and if you wanted to do something about him here, you would have to be able to do something that your local gods have not been able to do.
But that's okay, because Wednesday night they got Dimitri, so they're all okay.
I'm not sure that actually follows. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't follow.
Yeah, it's Jeremy's confidence in his character because his character is that arrogant.
Well,
So
that's-
it's not him saying that he's that arrogant.
Yeah.
It's his character saying he's that arrogant.
that's right,
I'm very confident.
Arrogant, completely arrogant. And even Jeremy would agree that's all the arrogance of the character.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's been played that way because he was one of the first characters that we created while doing the storyline,
Oh, okay.
and he was in the first mini campaign that ended up going for about half the length of this campaign so far. Okay, so last session you had arrived at a ruined chateau where everyone had set up for the night and was resting while Mirren was walking around the grounds at night by himself,
Always work.
away from everyone else while they were asleep.
Well, he
Don't
didn't want anyone
understand. It's not a
watching while he
fact.
played with his wrist.
It's not a phase.
I'm not adding any bad stuff in there relating to horror movies or anything, because it's not like things would run out of the night and kill you. As
Well,
I switch over to some.
Has already happened, mind you.
Please don't switch over to some ominous music.
Yeah, definitely ominous music.
No, hang on.
That's ominous music. Now, it's a situation where we've already had. Basically, it's already a horror environment. So
Okay.
we're already in a horror story. We've had demons.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, what's So what I got last was in my notes is that we all went to bed.
Mhm.
And you didn't.
No,
And you-
was I
and you
walking-
went
no, I
wandering.
was in my room.
There was no room because there's only they had basically were undercover of a ruined part of the chateau. They'd brought the vehicle into there,
Yep.
and you had wandered out doing a guard patrol.
So when did I get the mark on my neck? It was before that, wasn't it?
It was before that.
Okay, never mind. That's where I stopped my notes.
Quite a
Carry
while
on.
before that.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
earlier.
That was many scenes before then.
Carry
So,
on.
a description of the place was a lonely ruin of tumbled, moss-covered stone and fire-blackened bricks. Stands half overgrown in ivy. The wind blows through the fallen pile, making a mournful call like a broken-hearted lover. Is the description of the place that you're currently in.
Right.
So something nice and cheery.
For certain varieties of cheery
Okay.
and or nice.
And Mirren sees a translucent figure of a man walking through the ruin, dressed in clothing very reminiscent of his own, but fancier.
Right.
And before he can do anything, the figure is before him.
Ooh, Zeppy move.
So, what would Mirren like to do?
I can't disengage, can I?
Well, you're not in combat yet.
No, he's just
Yeah,
approached
yes,
you really
yes.
closely.
Well,
Yeah, roll initiative.
he just moved the distance of a football field in a blink of an eye. So yes, you can disengage.
Just badly.
Oh, he's going to take another one.
And the music's just perfect.
It was.
Yeah.
I can't hear the music.
It's just changed to ominous.
Oh, is it? No, actually, no. Don't change it. I want to hear it.
So let me just fix that for you.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do. Can you hear it now?
But that's all right. We understand. We can imagine much more ominous music, I'm sure.
I'm sure you can.
I'll make it in the back. I'm gonna freeze. I'm not gonna do a thing.
Okay.
What does is it?
It's a good reaction.
Does it appear hostile, or is it like blank looking, or is it gas? Like, is it?
Well, let's see what happens when you actually see a ghost in person. Because it is an actual ghost.
So
Is it a
extra scary.
Oh,
Same solution. It might be Casper.
Giant.
No.
It's gonna be a Persian dragon
Ghost.
form, isn't it?
Okay.
Or a Persian.
So,
no.
to start with, you get to make a wisdom
Yes.
saving throw.
Venetian curtains? No.
okay.
French curtains.
Wisdom saving throw. Not my best, but
You've got
Come on, you're a paladin. You must be fine. Must be good at it.
solar or something.
saving throw. No, not in any way, shape, or form. Wisdom saving throw.
We hadn't noticed any indication you were lacking wisdom.
Do I add anything to this, or?
It's a saving throw.
I've only got +5 to strength and +4 to con.
So you've got you'll add your wisdom bonus, and if you made your proficiency as a paladin, I would have thought that you might have come with a paladin.
Okay, so I add my proficiency bonus, which is underneath my wisdom of 12. Yes.
Only if you're proficient in wisdom saving throws.
I thought paladins were. But
They may or may not be because have to be under the paladin class.
Oh, okay.
No, I changed it. So
Okay, yeah. Well, at least you get +1.
So I'll never live again. Exactly.
yeah, so that makes that a 9.
Makes it a 9.
She comes out and
That's an interesting roll.
punch her in the middle of the chest.
Okay, so
And then try and set light to her clothing.
you have just become frightened.
Okay, so I'm frightened. So I can't move any closer to the creature.
Always a good thing.
And something else also happens because you rolled such a nice number.
So frightened.
And your character also ages 30 years.
Oh god.
Oh, that's alright.
Like you're an elf.
For an elf, it's
That's all right.
okay.
I'm technically like early 20s, early to mid 20s. as an
And
elf.
remember how you said your character was already starting off fairly old, so it does bite into your character more than others. Yes, it does.
Yeah, because when you one that have been locked away in seclusion for.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
your character's over 300, so every little bit here bites into your character's age.
Which would be okay. So I'm just trying to find F.
My cat is complaining in the background. Okay, so yes, you are frozen and standing still as the ghost appears before you and talks at you. I'll give you
So
a
it's good of you to listen.
I'll give you a perception roll to see how much you notice.
This I could bloody well do.
But because you're
No,
you're
no, I
fearful,
can't.
what'd you get?
Let me write it as a disadvantage.
I was going to give you disadvantage. Yes,
Okay, well, that makes that a good old 9.
a good old 9.
So it was 9
Hmm.
or 23.
What?
Okay, so
Take the 9. You know you want to.
Oh dear.
and when your heart stops thrashing and filling up your ears with the sound of its beating,
You mean it stopped beating?
well, it slows down enough for you to actually hear words. You hear something that you vaguely understand to be life's quest, need to do, thank you, and then the spirit disappears.
Life's quest needs to be.
as you feel something icy grip your heart.
That'd be the gate.
I've been possessed, haven't I?
No.
No, you've been.
You've been volunteered for a quest,
Ah.
How exciting.
which is explained in detail to you.
Obviously, take it anyway.
Could have just asked.
He did.
It did. And then told
A
you.
bit nicer.
Okay, so when you wander back to the others, you can actually see he now has white streaks through his hair,
Nice.
Wow. Or an elf.
Who's your
Yep.
hairdresser?
and it only stepped outside when that happened. But everyone was sound asleep by the time he walks in, so he has to wake people up to tell them.
Fair enough.
So you mean he matches better then?
Who's so no one's awake?
No, you went off while I was sleeping.
Yeah.
You were the one on guard.
Yeah.
So you're going to come in and talk to us, and we're going to be the ones to tell you that your hair.
Oh
is
yeah,
changed.
I've woken his up. Yeah, I'm not.
You're
I'm not picking the next person on shift or anything. I've woken his all up.
Okay. We'll go with that.
So, a ghost. Sorry, I can't do that. Can I make a perception check to see if Shaggy's around?
You can if you wish.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. 22.
22. Okay.
But like, Scoot, what are we gonna do?
Right?
and unfortunately, you don't notice Shaggy or the Mystery Machine, but there is this old dilapidated vehicle that you've been travelling around with, and Reznor is sort of staring at you curiously.
Out of curiosity, am I still frightened?
Yes.
So what is that? What is that as a condition?
So, frightened as a condition in D&D. Let me grab the...
-1 to everything, basically. Assuming it's only frightened 1. I mean, it couldn't matter too much if we
Wrong game, Jeremy. So, frightened in D&D is you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of fear is within line of sight. And you cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So, in other game systems, that has different rules.
Yeah. Okay. So 290 to 292. So technically it's gone, so I'm not frightened anymore.
Yeah, technically you're not frightened unless it appears before you, in which case you're still frightened.
Which lasts for
24 hours.
290. Righto. It doesn't say. A frightened creature is frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source is there. Creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Yes, and the fear source is in effect to you for 24 hours.
Okay, where does that come in? Is that because I've been volunteered?
No, it's the actual thing of the ghost.
Like, the reason, like, you've got the frightened condition, but the reason you got the frightened condition from the ghost power means that frightened condition lasts for 24 hours. Unlike some that might last for 2 rounds or something.
Okay. Oh, because it's from a ghost.
Yeah,
Not
the actual source.
Not from like a
Like
a
spell.
spell from a banshee or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's where, because I was getting confused. I'm like, why is frightened a 24-hour condition? And then I realised now it's something that a ghost can do.
Okay.
Okay.
The source of your fear lasts 24 hours.
Okay. Thank you.
All good.
Or no, thank you. But thank you.
I was about to say I'm happy to make it last if you like.
Oh, mate, I'm frightened already, so.
So you're suggesting you had the opportunity to speak with the
I'm
ancestors?
I'm frightened of the party. I'm frightened of the thing on
Well,
my arm. I'm
well,
frightened of making conversations.
You're not frightened of the party. You're frightened of whatever it was that confronted you and said a lot of things that you didn't really follow.
No, I know, but I'm saying that I'm frightened of this whole situation.
Well, that's perfectly reasonable. I think we all are.
But, okay, Benedict is quite calmly saying, so you had an opportunity to speak with the ancestors. Congratulations.
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
did. It
Yes.
went horribly. I don't recommend.
Yes. I can't remember if you can actually.
The ancestors almost
Please.
always did.
Actually,
The ancestors
What was
almost
that?
always wish to help you.
I can't remember if you can actually cure the ageless ghosts.
Not easily.
Can be done.
It can be done, yes, but I think
Potion
it
of
has a
use.
time limit.
Yeah.
Most of these
and-
things have a time on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
From memory,
Out of game, if I've
and-
aged 30 years,
because I don't know all the stuff in 5th edition, you also have to be using a spell that we don't have access to.
I think it would be Greater Restoration.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. And you've got like a month or something like
Normally a
that.
day.
Or a day, yeah. And
So-
it might be a day even if it's normally a week or a month elsewhere.
No,
So,
I have a question.
So yes, everyone else gets to make a perception roll. Unfortunately, Mirren can't because he's the thing they're perceiving.
just
He doesn't have a mirror.
while everyone's doing that, the age differential is it 30 human years and then it stacks?
No,
elves?
you've aged 30 elven years, but the thing is, after you get age enough elven years, it does age you out as well. Just that you've got a lot
Okay,
more
so-
chances than humans do. Humans
Yeah.
would have also have aged 30 years, which could have killed a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Considering you live well over 700 years,
yeah.
30 years
I-
is not necessarily a great loss right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's not like I'm not. What am I trying to say?
You're not suddenly feeble and old age.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not detrimental. I don't have to change AC or.
No
hit
stats
points or-
change. It's the equivalent of a human aging about a year.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries.
So perception check.
Yep.
Is passive perception thing to use?
Everyone's sort of staring at him, so I was gonna. You can choose passive or you can choose active.
I'll go
I-
passive because I've actually got a bonus to that, so 21.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled modified 20.
Mm-hmm.
29 natural.
27 repetitive.
Okay, so it seems everyone noticed that Mirren now has a crest over his chest, over his heart, on his clothing. That wasn't there before.
On his clothing. You know?
Yeah.
I might as well just go to the tattoo parlor. Feels like I'm a GTA 5 character.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It, and as has been discussed, it is fixable, but I don't think we've got the spell
So-
available to do it.
The crest is
Okay.
on his
So
Clothing.
clothing.
And what wisdom did the ancestors provide for you?
Change my underwear.
Might have been actually wear
they-
underwear.
They've asked me to go. I don't know what the quest is, but they've asked me to go on a quest. I heard quest,
Do
and that
it,
was it.
Do it now. Do it.
okay,
please.
so any
You should always
detail
listen
on
carefully
what-
when one ancestor talk to you.
I tried. All I kept hearing was the beat of my own heart.
I can understand
They-
the excitement.
Yeah, excitement. Okay, so I don't know that I've got that. What did you say I had?
Family seem to have a family crest on your clothing.
On my clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Okay, so
request is the important
Do we recognise the crest at all?
Yeah.
so I don't know this yet, but I'm just going to write it down in my notes.
Prayer did see it on the outside of the chateau when you were coming in.
Right.
So it's probably the family amber rather than one of the members.
Well, no. I think you're talking the chateau, like the castle we were in originally, or the
Oh,
chateau
sorry.
we're in right now.
The one
That's
you're in
true.
now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the family who own the chateau, this is their family
Yes.
crest.
Okay.
For whom the ghost of one of the members of the family was still hanging around. So,
And gave a message that was not received.
well, Pettidair will point out that it would appear that you've been marked with the same emblem that was above the door as we entered.
Does it look cool?
Looking
I'm
at
sure it is a most impressive mark.
The field of ruins.
Does it match my gorgeous locks?
it does not.
It clashes.
That is a rot.
It even clashes with your clothing. The colours.
Yeah. With that module, does it even? You'd have a picture of it, wouldn't it? Pictures a lot of other stuff. Okay.
Must be neon orange.
What is the crest? Can I actually see it, or is it
Well,
is it a hard to reach spot? Is it like that crap spot at your back that you can't breathe when you're strapped?
It's on the front of your jacket, so you sort of look
Okay.
down.
I
after
see
they
it, but
pointed
it's
out
upside
to you.
down.
And it seems to be a couple of different clashing colours
Oh, cool.
on some sort of shield design.
Yeah.
with what looks to be a strange bird and some sort of weapon that you've never seen.
It appears to be reminiscent. It appears to be reminiscent of some of the emblems that we saw in the library in Castle Amber.
Very much so.
Oh.
At which point, Pradier remembers with his perception roll that it is the Du Bois family who actually have members still living in Galantry.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
What did you say? It was a shield. It was a bird and something else on a shield. Did you say weapon?
Yeah.
So basically, you've been given the heraldry of one of the French families.
Mm-hmm.
Bird and weapon.
And
the weapon we don't recognise.
Does Pettidier understand enough about heraldry in, well, presumably Galantry as much as anywhere, and possibly Gallican, to understand the concept and the reasoning behind heraldry?
He was, because he would associate it with clan totem.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And spirit guide and all that sort of thing.
So having recognised that it appears to be the heraldry of the Dwar, Pettidier will explain that, well, it would seem that the ancestors have honoured you greatly and accepted you to their family.
They could have done it a bit nicer. Like, I'm not the one to complain,
Scare you after that.
but they could have literally just asked.
I think they did.
Are you saying he didn't? Did you not want it?
It's not that I don't want it. It was more that it was just a bit extreme for a question.
So what did he say?
You see, the thing is, I didn't hear what he said because he scared the shit out of me.
So you're saying you didn't listen? So how can you say that you didn't ask nicely?
But you're a paladin. You're supposed to be amazing at things like that.
You'd think so. You really would.
You really would.
But unfortunately, I got the thing on my neck. I've now got this.
You have a. Hold on.
You
You have a
relate
thing
to
on your
me,
neck?
the wife.
Yes,
Pressed
symbols
in.
on the back of his neck.
Oh, that. Yes. I
Yeah,
can't
cool.
remember. I couldn't remember if I.
Wife
checked it
family
out or
chest
not.
on me.
I'm sure he can call it a love bite.
You could call it certain things, yes.
Martin,
Yep.
as a spiritologist, can Pettidier actually sense any spirits left in the area?
Give me a craft roll.
3 is going to be bad. Where am I? What's the craft bonus? Total of 10.
No, he can't sense any spirits remaining in the area.
Okay. I will assure Myron that it would appear that your acceptance of his gift of family has allowed him to say he's obviously left now and allowed you to maintain and guard the family home.
Wait. Yes. Actually, can I just check my pockets to make sure?
Because he's all gone.
I'll check my pockets. I haven't. Oh, the off chance he gave me like a packet of gold or something. Like just as a.
You want more than you want an inheritance now. Jeez.
Okay. You find a iron key
Oh,
about the length of your finger.
cool.
Does it have the crest on it?
Yes, it does.
See? Is it worth
I'll be
anything?
back in just a moment. That's all right.
Yes, it's worth a lot. It's got the crest on it.
Yeah. It.
It's probably worth whatever it opens.
Yeah. See that front door over there? Check that.
The Crest of Francia.
You know what? I'm going to give it to someone else. So you can go and open that door.
You're the one wearing the.
You can't see a
That's
keyhole
right.
for it.
Oh.
I'm going to throw the key at the door.
That's
Okay, so you throw the key in a random direction because you're not sure where the door is.
Wait, didn't you say we could see the door?
Paul said you could see the door.
I assumed there was a door there and I pointed at it. I obviously have just pointed at a piece of wall, which is useless to everybody.
And you've thrown the key at the piece of wall. The
What are the odds that it opens?
The key hits the wall and just falls down.
So, not very good odds.
That's not how keys work.
Pick it back up. Okay. I'll open my peepers and
Yep.
have a look for a door.
Give me a perception roll.
Aha! 21.
21. Looking around, you still don't find a door.
Damn shame that.
You may have to ask for help on that.
Just going to indicate to the rest of the group.
I go ahead and.
Oh, I'm not on camera. Never mind. You're like an idiot. Sorry.
Previously, traveling with Miriam before, I know he is a silent type and will not ask for help, so I go ahead and help him. Not necessarily looking for just a door, but just something that a key would go to.
Okay.
19.
19. You have a look around. You don't find anything either. Apparently, doesn't seem to have anything that you can put a key into here.
Well, there's nothing here. That's what I tell him. It's like, nothing here. Must be somewhere else.
Is it a key for the letterbox?
That would be amusing.
Maybe the key is to your heart.
So,
I'm sure if you stick it in and turn it, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Put me out of my misery.
Certainly would.
I'm just trying to paint a picture in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Is what does the chateau actually look like? It's half run down and everything, isn't it?
It's almost ruined, I think, when you push it.
You've got the foundation stones, and most of the upper floors have dropped down. You've managed to get into an area with part of the floor still above you, but there's no door entry. It's just open area. And
So it'd be in the chateau, kind of like what would have been the entryway.
Well,
had it not
technically,
fallen
we found a spot which had at least 2 walls and a corner with a roof type stuff to provide a bit more shelter.
Yeah.
But there wasn't actually much in the way of castle.
Okay, sorry. I was under the impression we were outside. Sorry.
And basically,
well, the outside is very
No,
available.
like
there's not much
approaching
difference
it.
between outside and inside. It's the matter of a couple of steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I was under. Yeah, sorry. I thought that we were like walking up a driveway towards it. Anyway, sorry. Carry on. There's no. Would I be able to get a gauge of where we actually are in the building had it been a complete building? So then I can kind of go, oh, the kitchen could be over there. Oh, the stairwell to the upstairs should be over there,
Can you pick
but it's
up
all
the
fallen in. Do you know what I mean?
I will give you a intelligence check.
Judging by how scared I get from scaring ghosts, it seems about right that I got very low. Hang on. 12.
Okay, having a look around, you believe you're in the library. Every good house has a
Okay.
library.
It does.
Right. Did we want to split up to try and find... I've got a funky feeling that this is probably a key for the basement.
Well, have a look and see how much decorations on it, apart from just the crest. If it's highly decorated, it's probably one of the main rooms. If not, it might be the back door or the basement.
Or it might not be a house key at all.
Yes. Hard to tell.
It might be a key for a chest or something.
Hmm.
Well, the crest is partly chipped, and the key itself is mainly iron.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to have any flourishes on it.
Okay.
Well, okay, Pettinese looked around and thought, well, there's not really much left that key can go into. And the fact that seemingly the spirits are not bothering us anymore, he's keen to get a good night's sleep still.
Okay, Parody goes back to sleep while they're busy looking around.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Or okay, if they really desperate to look around, we'll look around in the morning when there's a bit more light, because I reckon this place will be well lit during the day.
okay.
Quite probably.
That is true, because the DC is higher at night.
I'm going to bed.
So does everyone go to bed?
I'm not doing watch.
I'll
I'm doing
take
nothing.
next watch, like not going
Yeah,
away from
there's-
the party, but just like staying, like while they're sleeping, staying.
Okay.
First watch for curtains.
You don't see any curtains, damn it. No curtains here to destroy.
No, what this means is they're hiding properly.
But at least I kept them at bay. That's the
Yes,
thing.
that's very true.
Mhm.
The curtains will
They've
probably
been-
come when you're sleeping.
Yes,
Mm.
they've evaded your sight rather than.
Make sure they don't get me while I'm sleeping then.
Yes.
I'm cancelling you guys.
If you get attacked by curtains, I'll tell you.
Drowser promises to set them alight if they attack you during the night.
Yes.
As long as they're not around me at the time.
No.
He doesn't make the
no,
distinction.
He just said if they attack you.
They will become a light.
You'll then be
He
attacked by-
just thinks that they'll be very comforting for you to know.
It's good they were watching lousy. Put myself out.
Okay, so everyone else goes to sleep while we have Lani up on watch.
Yep.
Okay. So while you're on watch, something else happens. Give me a perception roll.
Woohoo. 18.
18. Okay.
Any curtains?
Plenty.
Only haunting in you in your
No,
dreams.
no.
So you're having these dreams of curtains
Dreams of curtains.
and then being
actually,
set
yes.
alight.
I'm
I dream
waiting
of
for him to get on a
curtains.
watch roll of 1.
Having said that, having a dream of curtains set alight is not a bad dream.
Exactly.
While you're in the curtains.
As long
Oh,
as the,
that is a bad dream.
as long as the curtains are actually being consumed by them.
Yes, yeah.
Being attacked by curtains of
Fiery curtains.
Yes, being attacked by curtains of flame.
They've learned to use fire. This is bad.
Okay, I'll just have to remind myself when it comes time to actually do a spell of that level, not to learn Wall of Flame.
What does your wall of flame look like? Oh, just a flaming curtain going that way.
Exactly.
I'm not going that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, as your
I put a double layer line around the.
as Lani is on watch, you see a flash of light.
Oh,
Okay. I don't leave our area, but I get up and head towards the light just to see what it is.
Welcome to the Scaredy Cats.
yes.
Some of us are ghost adventurers, so it's fine. I'm just kidding. We'll see how it goes, if it is a ghost.
Well, the worst thing that happen is it will eat you.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Not reassuring.
I was a sailor. We know ghost stories.
Yes.
How many of those stories have keys in them?
Quite a bit, actually.
Okay, so you see a beautiful human female who seems youthful but moving with experience, dressed in a gown of dark blue shimmering in the light.
Cool.
Her tresses are honey brown and intricately braided, and she has amber-coloured eyes, and skin is alabaster white with lips of vermilion. And she shows far more colour than any person you've seen in this world yet.
Cool. He's also got the same colouring as me.
Interesting.
She's got the
So
same
she's-
colouring as me. Because
somewhat
that's what I wrote
She's
down. As,
pretty.
that's basically what I wrote down as my new colouring.
Alright.
Auburn hair, amber eyes,
Yeah.
alabaster skin was already there.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, but if she were elven, we'd look related.
Including the vermilion lips.
Just like a very beautiful human.
Would even be stunning for an elf.
Yeah, I would.
Lots of charisma.
I would make sure I have my trident close by
Mm-hmm.
because I saw it was a flash of light.
Mm.
So it's if it is a human, it is a human that does magic, and that's not possible because there's not very magic users here. So
Give me a perception roll as you look
We
in
have
her
seen
direction.
some magical things, though.
24.
Okay. You do notice that the ground around where she's standing seems to be more alive than the ground further around.
So she's generated bodies. She's a lot more.
I say I'll take a couple steps away from our area and try to get her attention.
Okay.
Who was there? Who are you?
Oh, she looks up and goes, "Oh, hi, Lani. Nice to see you for the first time again."
Oh, one of these.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you for the first time, I suppose.
Oh, don't worry. We'll meet later for where I'll meet you for the first time.
Understood.
You've travelled with Drezel enough, she says.
I've traveled with Dazzle. I think I kind of get how this works. Can I get your name?
Oh, Moriamus.
Okay.
Are
Didn't know you were travelling through this part of the city. Countryside.
Yeah.
Well, it's a countryside now. It'll be a city later.
Why do you get the nice ghosts?
She's cute.
Well, your ghost was very nice.
Yeah.
Your ghost was very nice. You just didn't pay
Jury's
adopted
still
you.
way out on that.
Yeah. Well,
He adopted you.
you recognise it as a
I-
ghost and you age.
I relax because she mentioned
Not her fault.
Drazzle, and I just relax and I say, you must be here to
Be back in a sec.
help us in some way, or do you have any information? That
Oh
you're
no,
going to give me?
I was just passing through.
Just passing through. How did you get here?
Well, she pauses for a bit, and you probably haven't found out about that information yet. But when you do, it will be I was here before you were.
I ask her, do you know anything about this chateau here, or the
Oh yeah,
Dubois
Dubois.
family?
I was just speaking with them moments ago.
What were they saying?
We were discussing the crops and things going around, how the magic's flowing through the land.
There's
Right.
not much magic here currently because of the...
Well, that's what I said. I was here earlier.
Early
Yeah.
as in years.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were here earlier, but I'm sure...
That's okay. I'm sure we'll have that discussion again
I'm sure we will.
because we've already had it.
I can guarantee we probably have. I tell her, do you know anything about the Dubois family having an iron key that goes to something?
Next time I'm talking to them, I'll find out.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm sure it won't be too long.
I'm sure it won't be too long for you, but unfortunately we're stuck currently, so
Has Mirren gone and done something again?
Mirren has met with a ghost of the Dubois family.
Well, that's right. They're dead at this point. Yeah.
Yes, they are. And he did not listen to what they
He
had
never
to say.
listens.
He never listens. I mean, he doesn't talk. He doesn't listen.
He never even
You
listened
are
when
being
he had
So smack talked.
even when people explained how his device worked, he didn't listen then either.
Exactly.
Must be something about the antibiotics they gave him that seemed to have made him forgetful.
Must be.
He did have a bad reaction to it.
Okay. Mirren was talking with a ghost of the family, and they just told him about a quest, and they gave him an iron key.
Maybe they adopted him.
Oh, maybe he's part of the family. He does have a family crest now.
So he's the latest Dubois.
Yeah, yep, he's now Dubois.
At least until he angers them.
Well, it was great to meet you for the first time, and I'm sure we'll have many conversations moving forward.
I'm sure we will. I was just stopping here on my way through to somewhere else.
Where are you off to?
Later.
Later. Gotcha. Can you tell?
At which point she pulls out a potion and drinks it and disappears.
Of course she does.
Yes.
That's what we were looking for. Cool.
Isn't she useful?
Yep. She had the thing I was looking for. I go back to the party, and I just sit to wait the next person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Title's the next person.
I tell Title what happened. I tell him there was somebody from our realm who knew me, which you've traveled with Drowsy, you know how it is. And she was just talking. She said she was talking with the Dubois, and then she just drank a potion of us. So I think she had a potion that we were looking for.
But she drank it.
But she drank it.
So does that mean you screwed up then?
I don't know.
Did you supposed to like take it from her or something?
I don't know.
Okay. Alright.
She was not. She was a good conversation. She was not helpful.
We be asking Dravel for his wibbly time you want me
For his input, certainly.
advice?
I believe so.
Okay. Perhaps reiterate this in Drazzle speak to Drazzle and see if we can get any answers out of it?
Maybe. Yeah. I tried to wake Drazzle.
He wakes up and just looks at you.
I say, there was a friend who came through. She was just passing through, and she drank a potion, and then
Pass
took
through.
off. Passed through, and she went to later.
So we'll see her later.
See her. We'll see her later. But the potion she had, if she had it, did we mess up already?
Drez will not know.
That's fair, Drazzle. Thank you.
If fail, we mess up.
Yes. That's accurate.
Yep.
Also true the other way around, of course.
Well, let's face it. If we get the potion, then we can go back in time to a spot where you can get it off her.
Also true.
If we meet her before, then we can get it from her then.
And she may even know how to make them.
Yeah, maybe.
I was going to say, if it's a potion, it's probably not unique.
True.
Okay, so morning comes around not long after Title's up and doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also, technically, we're not actually at the place where we thought we were going to get the potion anyway. So
No, we were just stopping in.
yeah.
Have we had a long rest?
Yes, you've managed to get through a long rest. And you actually have access
Nice.
to your spells again.
Nice.
Oh, that's great. For all the spellcasters.
Which is the majority of the party.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, so everyone has access to the spells again?
Everyone has access to their spells
We
again.
have spells. Woohoo!
Huzzah! I cast message
Yep. And who you cast
No,
it to?
to whatever ghost may be here.
You've got to pick someone you can see.
Oh dear.
So which person do you hit with a message early in the morning as they're waking up?
No one. No one. I'll go through the motions then I'll stop.
Yes, doing show tunes every morning I'm sure would go down well.
Yep, that's how you make sense.
Hello, this is it's like the hotel wake up call.
Okay. So yes, you have get up, have no problems getting yourself ready, get to your vehicle.
Well, let's say, whilst the others are getting themselves ready, Penadir will do the search around to see if he can find anything that he might fit into. Now that it's light and he can see.
Okay, give me a perception roll with advantage because you're doing it in the daylight.
And while he's searching, I tell
23.
Mirren, I talked to somebody. You're adopted by the Dwa family. Congratulations.
Huzzah!
Okay, so Jeremy, you do find an area that seems to have a lot more life than the rest of the forest. It's about a 20-foot wide clearing not far from the building.
Ooh, okay. I will take the opportunity to conduct morning rituals and opportunity to catch up with the spirits of nature and ancestry here in this location instead of elsewhere. Not that I'm actually expecting to contact the ancestors when they're a very long way away from us right now, but hey, it feels more homely.
That's fair enough.
Okay, the place actually smells better in that area, and you actually feel more alive while resting there and devoting yourself to your ancestral spirits.
So,
It basically feels like a magic-rich area.
Cool. Well, okay. When the others are ready, I guess we depart.
Okay. So, everyone else gets up, and you get to the vehicle.
Yep.
Vehicle doesn't start.
Well, poo.
I kind of shove him over. He's like, fix the carriage.
You just asked
I asked.
by pushing on me.
Gently.
That was Lonnie being nice.
Does the
If
door
she's
open?
friendly.
hitting me with the trident, I'll give her that.
Just like, hey, come on.
Does the door open?
Yep, the door opens.
Are there curtains
I
in
will-
the car?
Yeah.
Excellent. This is the problem. Let me remove this.
Didn't you already remove the curtains?
No, they were
Strazzle
put,
put him back.
Drazzle
No,
put them
first
back.
put them back up, and they were
This
floral.
is
when
why
you did
it's
that.
not working anymore. These curtains are corrupting this
He's
chariot.
he's
So I'm going to get in the vehicle and
I don't mean
clean
it.
up curtains.
Interrupt for a sec.
Strength
I'm
check.
trying to make it over.
Hey, not too bad actually.
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Alright.
I hear you.
Yeah, we can hear.
That's 16.
Okay, there's a ripping sound as you start ripping out curtains.
Yes. Okay, I'm happy.
There's far more curtains out of the car than you thought were in there.
Yeah, it's surprising. Don't know how they keep getting in here.
How big is Drazzle at the moment?
Drazzle is medium-sized.
But it's like how tall is he? How tall is he?
He's about 7.5 feet tall at the moment.
Yeah, okay. I think he was quite tall. Yes. Trying to remember what age when he is.
Mhm. He's not his full height.
No, okay. So after the curtains were removed, does that make the car go better?
Doesn't seem to start still. Apparently that wasn't it.
I will check the car over while he's taking out the curtains and see what might be the problem. The first thing I'm going to do is check to see if it's got any fuel in it.
No.
Well, I don't need to check any further then, do I? So we go for the first stage.
But maybe if we put these curtains in the fuel insert bit, we can make fuel. Okay.
Or it looks like we're walking.
We've got to burn these curtains first.
Drazzle just looks like say they're not attacking.
They could.
And he just starts walking.
Fine. I'll put them in a random sack or something if I can find
Well,
one.
Drazzle was only going to burn them if they were attacking you.
Wait,
We-
how are we gonna?
I have to have words with Drazzle.
We have to.
Well, can I suggest that potentially the remnants of curtains and or other material be used to wrap up the mirror.
Yep. Yes.
And then, if Gretel doesn't mind being the biggest of us, it'd probably be the least encumbering for him to carry the mirror.
Okay, I don't recommend wrapping up in curtain, but sure.
Okay, Drizzle grabs the mirror and carries it.
And everyone's got everything else that they might want out of the car, out of the carriage.
Oh no, my son.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
I removed what I needed to, so
And now Drizzle's got something to carry the mirror with.
Yep.
So the curtains will follow you everywhere. Thanks to you.
Yes, but being useful to you.
Yeah, we'll
Obtain the
see.
curtains.
They're just trying to weasel their way into your good graces.
The
Yeah,
curtains
it'll
are your
possess that mirror later and we'll have trouble. Just watch.
The curtains
Yeah.
are your slave now.
You can see them waft a little bit in your direction off the Drizzle's back.
Yep, I'm just going to watch that the whole journey. I'm dead straight on that curtain.
Alright, so we have our map heading.
Yeah, and based on our knowledge, if we're going to walk now, I think it was going to be only another half day or something by car, was it not?
Yep. So it might take you.
So it's probably going to be at least a day and a half or so by foot, I would
You'd
expect.
expect that much.
Unless we can find another car. Which I doubt at this point.
Well, with the war going on, there's not a lot of travel.
Surely they have horses or something. Do horses
haven't-
exist here?
We haven't seen. We've seen like 3 since we got here, and all of them were at city.
Oh, okay.
And most horses are in the middle of farms
Oh, okay.
Yes.
because people had switched over who travelled to vehicles
Mm-hmm. Yep, that makes sense.
because you didn't have to feed vehicles very often.
But apparently, often enough that someone failed to do so.
Well, we didn't have access to refueling facilities. The big thing is a car doesn't get scared by ghosts in the night.
That is true.
Horses do.
Or get eaten by ghosts in the night.
We weren't planning on
That was
leaving
the
the
other
car on this trip anyway, so
No,
it's
that's
not
true.
actually a bad thing.
Yes.
Okay. So after travelling through the day,
Like I say, Peter will probably lead the way down the pathway there. So.
you can hear a cry of people in the distance chanting.
Uh-oh, okay. What are they chanting?
You're not quite sure. You just hear voices.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it Francian?
You're sure it's Francian, but there's lots of Francian voices there.
Okay.
And we can understand we can understand French, remember?
Yes.
Yes, just not a whole lot of different voices together don't make sense.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
that wouldn't matter whoever it was.
Peter will aim to hide in the forest and move forward carefully.
Okay.
To,
So
see
while you're
what's
doing
happening.
this stealthy stealth, what's everyone else doing?
Cameron's a ghost.
I'm not.
I can see him up on camera now. His chair.
Yeah. I'm going to take some care and not interfere with his stealth attempt
Okay.
by not joining in.
So you're waiting.
I join
Yes.
stealth, but staying with the party. Just kind of making sure that they're not being loud.
That's
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I'm
how
back.
far? Sorry, what were we saying, Kevin?
Sorry, my internet just died.
Well, all
You're back
good.
again,
Alright.
though?
So does this mean Mia is charging forward?
No.
How far away does it sound like the voices are?
Pro-
Oh,
prob-
God, there's voices now?
Yeah.
As he
You hear voices.
Chanting.
yes. There are voices chanting. We can all hear them. It's not just you.
So have we found the keyhole then?
No.
No, you didn't find one before moving on.
So we're
So we're still scratching around in the chateau.
We were
No, no,
Just
no,
heard
we've-
voices.
We've left that. We've walked for the day because the car wouldn't start,
because it ran out.
and
of
we're
Okay.
approaching the next night, partway along the road, and we suddenly heard some chanting up ahead
Okay.
of multiple voices.
Does it sound like the same type of chanting that was at the Inquisition do and their type of general shenanigans?
I
Well-
think the chanting style is probably going to be similar, but
It's not as in tune.
right.
I don't know.
So the Inquisition seemed to be everyone using the same voice. This one seems to be lots of different voices.
Right.
Okay.
And we have Prey Deer moving through the forest to see closer. So what was his stealth roll?
Stealth of 20.
Are we stealthy?
He was
Stealthy.
stealthy.
Parody is still
The next one you may or may not, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, I was slowing the party down while Praetor scouted ahead.
Yeah, so we're letting
Pass without a trace, baby.
we're letting him.
I don't think it is a trail. Doesn't necessarily mean silently, I think.
That is correct. Pass without a trace makes it almost impossible to be tracked, but doesn't make you quiet.
Yes, and you're in what armor? How noisy is that?
I'm only in medium armor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still not quiet.
So does this mean Mirren is moving ahead to look as well?
Hang on a sec. Let me find the spell. Because it's a +10 to stealth. Limit AP.
Yes.
Sorry.
Armor, but he's well skilled.
So, concentration up to an hour. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks, and can't be tracked except by magical means.
Okay, so that's your pass without trace,
Yes, and that's my cantrip.
and you cast that.
Yes.
I don't think
What
it's
kind of armor
I
did
don't
you
think
say
it's
you
a
had?
cantrip. I believe it is a daily spell,
Oh, sorry. Yes, it is a daily spell.
because as a cantrip you could actually continually cast it.
No, it's not a cantrip. Sorry, it's right.
And
Okay.
what kind of armor did you say you were wearing?
Word medium. It doesn't mention anything here about armor.
The armor itself has either advantage or disadvantage or other things like that on it for the type of armor you wear.
Because, like, yeah,
Check modifier one from
so the spell's giving a +10 for everyone on their stealth roll, but you've got to roll your stealth, and if you're wearing armor with the disadvantage, then obviously it becomes +10 on the lower the die rolls. So,
So if you,
I'm certainly happy for it to come along. I don't
do you
mind
have
all,
scale mail or half plate?
I have scale mail, I believe.
So that means you still have stealth with disadvantage.
Like, you get to add 10 plus your stealth skill
Yes,
to the lower of your 2d20 rolls.
Yeah.
So,
yes. At least it's
So,
the same level of modifier they used to have at 3.5, which was actually realistic on that point. But it meant that if you had scale or plate, you couldn't move quietly. The penalty was so large.
Where did you find that?
under the equipment information, like we're talking about the armor.
It's on the armor page.
In 5e?
Yep.
Player's handbook?
Yep.
And what
Yeah.
page is that? It's early, isn't it? No, that's dwarves.
Chapter 5-ish, I think.
Chapter 5 is correct. I was just on it, so it's on page 145.
Yeah.
Just so I get nowhere on this stuff.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm certainly not saying don't go for it, but because, as I said, Penalty is happy for other people to go along. It's just that his natural position is he's a scout.
And the good thing is, it means if people attack him, he's not alone.
Yes, there is
Excellent.
that.
Well, and also they're even less likely to spot him.
Yes,
And they can attack the noisy one instead.
yes. Whereas me,
Chainmail.
as a stealthy person, I make a good singer.
Sorry, I've got chainmail.
There we go.
Chainmail.
And that's still just
Chainmail and a holy symbol.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a chain mail or chain shirt.
different.
It'd be chain mail.
It's
because
just
chain shirts don't like.
I've got
Chain
chainmail.
shirts.
Yeah, so you still have disadvantage. So.
Yeah. It's still noisy, but you can counter it because you're good.
Okay, so you cast a spell. Give me a stealth roll with disadvantage.
Stealth roll this. Okay. 17 total.
17 total.
With a plus 10.
You get to add your dexterity as well. It doesn't replace your stealth roll. It adds on top of your normal stealth roll.
Nothing.
So you don't have a dexterity bonus?
I don't have a dexterity bonus, no.
Okay. Just
No.
checking. So so rolling a 7's not so bad. Okay. So Jeremy, what did you get with an extra +10 to your roll?
Plus 10, I got 30.
Okay, so it's quite amusing that we have someone twice the level of the other one. So Mirren, you have a hard time following Prey Deer as he disappears. But you know where he's going.
Yeah.
Can I stay within at least 30 feet of him still?
Well, do we know how far away the voices are?
I would say yes, except you don't know which way he is.
Oh, well, then he's on his own if I can't find him.
That's pretty much what happened. Not long after you started, he disappeared.
Yeah, but if he's going to appreciate you being there, he's going to presumably keep track of you.
He probably knows exactly where you are because he's the tracker after all.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So, but yeah, how far away were the voices originally anyway?
The voices were about half a mile away.
Oh, okay.
But you didn't know that until you travelled about half a mile through forest.
Okay. Obviously, they were chanting loudly.
They were. As you get close, it's like they're screaming at the moment.
Oh.
So you could quite easily have shown up with a marching band and they probably wouldn't have heard you. But hey, you were stealthy.
Yep.
Yep.
It means that guards haven't heard you either.
And you see a large natural clearing about 80 feet across, deep in the woods off the road. You see in the middle of this, a 20-foot wide, 15-foot earthen mound with a 30-foot high humanoid figure made entirely of woven willow branches.
Oh.
And you see about 50-odd people in various states of clothing running around and making loud, obnoxious noises with headdresses adorned with horns and antlers. Very similar to the figure made out of wicker in the middle.
Okay, but so for me, reminiscent of Elk Clan, Deer Clan.
Well, it does sort of remind you a little bit of the Out Clan, but more of how you're seeing outsiders depict the Out Clan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're obviously not Atruaghin, but they're potentially totem worshippers.
So when you have actually read the write-ups of people who believe they know the Atruaghin, imagine that you've basically got the opinion of someone who saw a picture in passing and wrote a story about it.
Right.
And that's the sort of resemblance you see out here. And the noises they're making don't seem to make any sense. They don't translate.
So it's this cultural appropriation.
It's the cultural appropriation by stereotype.
Yeah.
And they probably don't know they're doing it.
And you can hear the sounds of livestock billowing from within the wicker creature.
Okay, so we're talking animal sacrifice.
It's not a sacrifice to call a demon to destroy more.
Which, well, okay, I'm guessing Atruaghins probably aren't opposed to sacrificing for the ancestors, are they?
Only if they're doing it right.
The only group that does sacrifice is the Tiger Clan.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Because that's generally believed to be a not an Atruaghin trait, but an Atsantiotl trait.
Yeah. Okay. So the Atruaghins would potentially provide offerings for their totems, but they don't kill them outright to do it at the time.
Well, the Atruaghins aren't particularly wasteful people.
Yeah.
So if they were going to sacrifice a creature, it would be for the meal, and they would turn it into a ritual.
Yep.
But they wouldn't just burn it and turn it to cinders.
Yes, they would give the blood, they would use the meat, they would use the leather, they would use all the bones.
Yeah, it would be waste not, want not. Wasting stuff would be seen as rather unthinkable amongst the clans.
Yep.
Okay.
And in fact, being a sacrifice, you would actually use part of it to make an actual fetish and have a commemorative item from the sacrifice.
And
Everything
every
gets used, including a tuft of hair on its head.
so sacrificing an animal would be a big thing in the clan, especially if it is the totem.
Mhm.
So the elk clan sacrificing an elk would be pretty much the holiest ceremony they could hold.
Yeah, that you'd see that and go, which disaster are they trying to avert?
Okay, so give me a perception roll for the two of you who are amongst the edge of the screaming people.
Right.
20 for Petity.
22 for Myron.
Okay, between the two of you, you can hear the sounds of a young woman crying for help from the Wicker Man.
Uh-oh. Maybe heroes stuff.
So,
I'm gonna sneak it. I'm gonna mention towards Pray Dear and just mention that I'm gonna go back and get the rest of the party all sneaky beaky.
Okay,
And-
so and while you're doing that, you do notice two guys in robes carrying torches above their heads, about 30 feet from the Wicker Man, moving towards it.
and how many people are around the Wicker Man again?
About 50 odd.
We're
Okay.
going to hear a fight and have to go running in.
Probably not,
How
because
far-
you won't tell the
how-
difference.
Pettidier,
That's a good
when Pettidier sees the two guys with torches heading towards,
Yep.
he'll go for shooting, firing an arrow to aiming at the torch to knock it out of one of the hands.
Okay.
AC 20.
AC 20. I'd say you hit the torch and send it flying from his hand.
Cool.
Okay. And I will immediately go and try and do another shot at the next round. Kind of get one shot around anyway.
Yep.
But yes, I'll be aiming for the other torch. Basically using move action and bonus action to hide and move slightly away from that position, so I can then shoot from a different position.
Well, they both seem to have stopped, looking puzzled at the torch that has gone out of the guy's hand and is sitting on the ground with an arrow sticking out of it.
Yep.
Then our piston aiming at you.
And I will, in the following round, take another shot, this time 23.
23. You knocked that one out of his hand as well.
Cool.
And then again, I will bonus action hide and move off to a different location again.
But they are looking confused.
Good.
Yep, that they are all looking confused, and
Have I
suddenly,
gotten back to the party yet?
and suddenly the chanting all stops as everyone stops and is now looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. And so from the distance, you hear the roar just stop. They've been gone for like over half an hour at this stage.
Yeah, I tell him like
Scouting is not a quick thing, so
Yeah, I tell him
No.
like we need to go towards.
If
that.
that's gone silent, then they've done something. So yeah, let's get moving.
Yeah, we need to figure out what that is.
Okay.
Right, we get motor in that direction.
so you start running in that direction.
Yes. Well, I'm presuming she's going to do it at speed, so I'll follow her.
Yep, I'll follow suit.
Because,
Okay.
well, we should run anyway.
Yeah, that would-
Just going for a walk would take too long.
Drazzle slowly walking behind, carrying the mirror.
I trust Razzle to catch up.
Oh, the mirror!
He can't
Drazzle has
take
it.
that very fast.
Yeah.
Just carting around a 6 foot tall mirror.
Well, he is 7.5 feet tall, so he can lift it off the ground quite well.
I'm picturing Obelix and Amina.
Yes. That's exactly correct.
Okay, so I will give both of you initiative while you're there, and the other guys will be a few rounds away.
Okay.
I'll let
Well, so but you were running back to them, weren't you?
Well, I started moving back, and
Yeah.
then, I mean, I imagine I would have seen you shoot at them, or
Well-
you wouldn't have, because you were a fifth one.
No, but also, like I said, you would have heard them go quiet while you were.
Yeah, but I
moving
would
back away.
have been a lot closer then, yeah, okay, alright.
But whether you do anything, okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, initiative. Ooh. 24 for Competitive.
4 for Predator.
Yeah, I'm 7.
7 for Mirren.
Yep.
What did Tidal get?
Oh, we're rolling this round.
Yep, because I will add it in when you get there.
Okay. That's not very good. I think it's a 13.
Still better than a 7.
True.
What did Lani get?
13 as well.
Apparently that's a nice number. Did Luell also get 13?
Somewhere very close to it. I've got to check my. Initiative mod. I actually got 17.
17.
Because I have a couple of things to give me bonuses.
Okay. So, Prey Deer is apparently up first here, as everyone seems to have stopped and he's currently looking around trying to figure out what's going on.
Kennedy will remain in position, just watching and.
And you can hear the screams of the woman from the Wicker Man quite loudly, as well as cows, chickens, sheep.
Yeah. Okay, so but confirming the fact that the Wicker Man's not on fire at the moment, is it?
Not yet.
No, okay. So yes, at this stage, I am holding my action.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, so then we have people rushing towards it. Mirren, you've just started heading back sneakily, and everything goes quiet behind you.
Okay, so
Well, except for the cows, chickens,
Yeah,
and one screaming female.
That's fairly quiet in comparison to everything else.
Yes.
okay,
It's
so
relatively
I
quiet.
will. I'll make my way back. Can I get to like the edge of the clearing?
You can get to the edge of the clearing quite easily.
All right. Do I see what's going on?
Yes, you can see that everyone's currently looking around. As you get to the clearing, they start pointing in your direction.
Can I stealth up to it at least?
You missed the word stealth to the edge of the clearing.
Uh,
So yes, you did make it to the edge of the clearing and then realised, oh, whoops, as everyone's pointing in your direction.
And everyone was specifically looking around for something at that moment in time when you decided to walk out or even walk to the edge.
Yeah.
You stand out like a flare on a hilltop with your clothing in this forest.
and there's about 50 of them down there.
Yep. And they're all pointing in your direction.
Is one of them at least 20 feet away?
Yes, there's probably about 30 within 20 feet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll cast. Oh wait, where is it? Belly for the paladin. So I will, as a. Oh man, my internet's really choppy too. So sorry if I'm. Alright, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Channel Divinity and Blinding Intervention.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll teleport to the nearest kind of semi-important looking person.
Yep.
Now, everyone within 5 feet of me must succeed in a Constitution saving throw.
And what
Or be
happens?
blinded.
Or be blinded. Yep.
Or be blinded. And then I'm just going to start wait. With the flail, I guess.
Okay, so you think at least
Casual
one or
flail
two people
attack.
got blinded, and you want to flail at one of the black-robed people? One of the people who had been
hit him with a
holding
flail.
onto the torches?
Yeah, I'll just grin and just go, hey.
Oh, sorry, I hadn't actually mentioned that. So the guys with the torches were the black-robed church folk, as opposed to wearing the...
None of the people here were the church folk.
Just
No,
black
that's what I thought,
robe
yeah.
figure.
Yeah, there wasn't... So no, I'm assuming they were wearing a stag head mask or whatever, helmet and stuff like stuff as well.
Everyone
so.
here had stag hairdos.
That is 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, so 10 plus that's 12 on the first hit.
12 on the first hit. Okay.
then-
You swing with your flail and take the guy's head clean off his shoulders.
Okay. Subtle.
Yep,
You see the head rise up at least 20 feet.
I get a second attack, correct?
You do, yes.
Sorry,
Oh, God.
man, I
Lucky to
missed
get all the
that.
way down.
And there's a spray of blood as his body goes down.
Alright, second attack, I'll start swinging at the other one.
Okay.
And that's a 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that's 6, 4, 6, that's 8 points on the second swipe.
Okay, there's a meaty thud as you cave in his face.
Yes!
You are
Okay.
Time for subtle.
yeah, subtle. There's a word for what he's doing.
Okay, everyone around you starts screaming and running away from you, so you get an attack of opportunity if you wish to.
Yeah, the closest
Yeah.
thing to subtle that he's doing at the moment is it's less than actual explosions.
23.
Quite impressive.
23 is a hit.
This is a nice dice. I'm keeping 6 points.
Okay,
Plus
you cave in the head of a teenager.
Oh God.
I don't think God's present.
Well, the god here is probably looking at this and going, "Yeah, that's how it goes."
As they're all running away from this murderer who just appeared amongst their midst.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Prey Deer.
I will, seeing them start to run,
Yep.
I will call out, Myron, hold!
Are you actually... Okay. Are you
That
actually
would be
trying
a
to do
perception
that?
roll for Myron to actually
I'm,
hear.
I'm just yelling it out.
Myron gets to make a perception roll.
Yeah, that's a terrible action. No, it's not bad. Perception 11.
11. You're pumped. You're killing things. You feel so fantastic.
At this
You didn't
point,
hear a thing.
The dice just know that Aaron does not listen.
Yes, by helping him not listen.
Okay. So the silence that you hear as you're running is replaced by screams of terror. As you're rushing towards a direction.
Yeah,
Okay,
keep
so
running.
obviously we have to run faster.
Yeah, run as fast as we can. So-
Yeah.
And you realize it's quite a distance away. that
Well,
they've been
now
traveling
you
through
know
the
you're
forest.
heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear screaming fear and you run towards them. That's
That's
right.
right.
That's what heroes do.
Hey, at least we're not standing back and going, "It's too far. We're not moving."
And then it's Mirren's go again. There's still plenty to attack around you. You can get them all, I'm sure.
I didn't hit.
If Mirren's
is there
about
another
to
black
swing, if
rogue
there's
figure?
someone still in range, if they haven't run enough, if Mirren's about to swing, then I will act before Myron.
He can actually move, but because you didn't ready an action, you can't actually act before him. You can only
Okay,
act
yep.
after him.
Is
So
that-
Mirren can easily move up to them and hit them because they don't move as fast as he does.
Alright. Are they shitting themselves?
People are running away from you, so you can
The
reach
black
them.
robe
yes.
ones.
The black robe ones are dead.
You killed them.
You took one head off and bashed one skull in, and then worked on a teenager.
Oh, okay. Is the chicken of fire still there?
Yes,
well,
there's
the
lots of
black-
chickens in the fire still
No,
there.
it's not on fire yet. You saved them from that. She's still
Well, he
in,
didn't.
She's still in the
Wicker Man.
Wicker Man. You got to get people
With
out
the
of that.
chickens.
With the chickens and the cows and the goat.
Okay, I'll start moving my way over to the Wicker Man.
Okay. You do move through other of these people who've been running away from you. Would you like to attack them on your way?
No.
Well, Myron has been going so well at knocking these things down. I'm sure it's an ego boost.
Hang on. Yeah, 1 on the way past.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
18
That's a hit.
for 5 point.
Okay, swinging around, you hear the crack as it shatters someone's back, and they collapse, twitching.
Okay. I'm going to be aiming for shooting into Myron's leg, effectively, to...
And Myron reaches the Wicker Man by that point, as he clears his way past everyone on his run. And then people run away further. Unfortunately, another one does provoke an attack of opportunity from Myron. Does Myron take it? Actually, Jeremy actually gets to go first before they do. So what does Jeremy do?
So, 18, AC 25.
I believe that will hit Myron in the leg.
Okay.
Okay. He can do significant damage, or he can aim to effectively stop him moving. Where are we? 4 plus 4.
You can choose to just nick him with a shot to get his attention.
Well, okay, I'm aiming to definitely put it into his leg to stop him actually running and chasing after these people. So, but okay, I'm not aiming to kill him, obviously. But the potential damage we could be talking about: 4, 7, 12, 14, 8, 16, up to 26 damage.
Though I do have messages of Monty Python and message for you, sir, coming in right now, as an arrow lands in your leg.
Hang on. Are you doing full damage?
Well, so that's the damage I've rolled, but as I say, I'm not actually aiming to hurt you. I'm aiming to disable you in the sense of stop you running.
I'm just working my way towards the Wicker Man.
And he has reached the Wicker Man by this stage.
Okay. Did you want to do the full damage, or?
Well, okay, however Martin wants to apply it in that sense.
Did Jeremy want to inflict damage?
If you want to do it as effectively a small damage and half movement or something, that's probably just as effective. So.
Okay, so I will give you back half the hit points.
Okay, so you only did 13 points.
13 points, but yes, your movement rate is halved.
But then people are still running away from you and provoke an attack of opportunity. And does Miriam wish to take it, as you've just been shot in the leg by someone?
No.
He does not. Does he recognize who shot him? Give me a perception roll.
Benedict will be standing up and obviously disappointed forward now.
17. You recognize Praedir's arrow in your leg. As people run away from you screaming.
I'll freeze. I'll freeze.
Okay. So it takes about a minute or so for everyone to run screaming from the clearing before Praedir can actually make it to you. But no one approaches you while you're doing so. And about 2 minutes later, the rest of the people come running into the clearing.
Right.
You could quite easily have depopulated the entire clearing before you arrived.
Believe it.
Yeah.
So you rock up, and there's about 4 dead people on the ground here.
Do I see
And Mirren-
Praetor's arrow?
And you can see Praedir's arrows sticking out of Mirren's leg.
Like X-Men arrow. I just.
And what I say, certainly, when the area is a bit clear, particularly before the others have arrived and stuff, Paladin will have gone up to Martin and said, "What the hell are you doing? He's going to kill them all." And then we'll be helping to get the prisoner out of the Wicker Man, preferably without getting pecked or gouged too much by chickens or goats or cows.
Okay, so you count out 20 chickens, 5 pigs, 5 goats, a cow, and a young woman who calls herself Celeste. Who thanks you because she didn't want to be the sacrifice to help bring back magic.
And how did you get selected?
She was the only virgin in the village. They called her a virgin. She wasn't.
Well,
At least she says she
do you
was.
do you happen to have somewhere else that you could go? We are currently headed on our way down towards.
Yes, I resist the immediate
Let's
urge
be on
to
to-
help her by fixing.
Well, now that my mother and father are dead, having just been killed by that guy with that dripping, bloodied weapon. No, I don't have anywhere to go.
So you're.
So, looking at the robes, your parents were sacrificing you for this.
They thought it was an honor.
Well, unfortunately, the ritual would not have worked.
No, it wouldn't.
So,
So you
But everything grows better in an area after people have been sacrificed.
yes, but you're just
We are-
applied for basically nothing.
we are sorry that your family is no longer able to support you, looking pointedly at Myron. But yes, if you wish to accompany us, we are headed southwards to the next town.
Do I have to accompany that person? She says, pointing at Mirren, who's still got the blood dripping of her family off his mace.
Please clean up, Marin.
He's absolutely catatonic. He hasn't.
I
moved.
will go over and use clean
Yes.
and clean his mace.
She does say that her parents were the last remaining clerics of the earth gods of the area.
Yeah, well, they unfortunately got rather mistaken about what was needed and what was going to work.
Yes, but they didn't need to be killed.
Yeah, well, unfortunately we couldn't stop Marin if we were there.
Mirren was helping.
Hmm.
Do you have any rope?
Yes, and there's wicker. Plenty of wicker.
Yeah,
I guess you could do.
huge amounts of it.
And then there's all the clothing of the dead people you can use and tie things up with.
I just want to make like a bunch of leashes for the animals.
Well, it's a bit hard because once you pull them off the wicker, they just started running all over the place.
Oh,
I was going to say, you might want to keep the
And
goat and the
even-
cow. The chicken might be a bit hard to keep hold of.
Yeah, eventually they'll probably try and go back to their farms.
Wait, they're chickens?
Yeah.
Well, there were chickens, but by the time you got here, the chickens had all left.
I wanted to carry a chicken around.
But there is a little egg here.
There's an egg.
Here.
What do you do with an egg?
Care for it. Raise it as your own.
Breakfast?
If you want to eat your child.
Bind it as a familiar.
Have a familiar egg.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't
Well-
think Sharpies were invented yet, so you can
No,
slap these
no,
on
I
it.
can't. Not
Dressel
yet.
has pen and quill.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
He writes a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I wanted it as a familiar. I appreciate the.
It could be titled Junior.
Oh, goodness. No, I already have a title junior. I don't need another one.
And you know this isn't
You sure you've only got one?
I think I've got one. I don't know. The person who
No.
does know
You
is
know you've
standing
got.
next
You
to
know
me
you've
and
got
won't
at least
tell me.
one.
Oh no, he's still coming, carrying the mirror. Takes him a while to get here.
Oh, okay.
I know as well. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Could have 17 for all I know.
Well, the more you travel with time, the more chance you have. You could get back home and find out that your grandfather was really your son.
Where's the exit? I'm gonna leave. I'm out this dimension.
Penadir will keep trying to calm Celeste, explaining the fact that yes, unfortunately, my companion was a bit overeager in an attempt to defend you and rescue you.
Does he kill everyone he sees?
Generally, no.
Penadier's response is certainly not quite that same, but
Yeah.
because he's been seeing far
They
too much of
Yeah, but
apparent
unfortunately,
mindless killing from him.
yeah. Yes. On my knowledge of him, if he used violence to that extent, he had to have had a good reason for it, or he would have had a good reason for it.
Penadier will happily leave Celeste in Cool's capable hands and tongue. He'll go for actually trying to help collect the animals.
I was going to take her off your hands, but there's also trying to deal with Mirren as well, and me doing both of those at the same time may be a bit of an issue. However, I will calm her down.
Yeah, she's a 14-year-old.
Yes, so it might take a little while.
Penadier will try and use his skills to help gather up the animals again.
Yeah.
But she does point out you look funny. Well, you got pointed ears.
Point. I will do that. Point, point, point.
Okay, make a funny face.
I think I look perfectly normal. You look weird. You got round ears. Anyway, so I'm basically going to persuade her to calm down a bit.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
I'm going to use insight with it. Both of them are trained skills. 23 on the persuade. And 18 on the insight.
Okay, she seems to calm down a lot and then bursts into tears and sobs on you.
That's fine. I was expecting that. In fact, that's a good response.
Will custard tart help her?
Yes.
Probably.
I don't know if he's got that many. Do you have more
I've got
than
one. I've only got one on, yeah.
What if I were to offer you an alternate dessert? Would you be prepared to part with your final custard tart?
Possibly.
It's custard fruit flavour.
Sure. So yes, she is sobbing and then
But yeah,
falls asleep sobbing.
that's fine. Put her on a bedroll. I'm not going to make a bed out of her parents' robes. That would be bad.
It's small, but I think it's got a living thing. It's
Yeah.
Might get you to take the passion fruit off.
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
At least.
So by the time that
use my bedroll for that, she can sleep on that. Then I get to talk to Mirren and try and get him out of his.
And while you're doing that, what is Praetor doing?
by the time that the girls calm down and we've Penadier's managed to capture or recollect any of the animals along with Tidal, I think he was also trying to do the same.
You managed to gather a cow and a couple of sheep.
Okay.
What was that?
Green things?
Yeah, the green things. Oh, kiwi fruit, yeah. Sorry, it just reminds me too much of passion fruit.
And then, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that possibly Lani was standing near my one to make sure it didn't go burst out again. But but yeah, by that time, okay, has Myron actually moved yet?
No, he's been waiting for assistance.
Is he standing or is he on the ground?
I'm standing.
Okay.
Just being weird.
At which point, then Drowsel shows up.
Okay. Penadier will be after the animals are caught. Penadier will then go over to Myron and apply some basic medicine. Basically, snap the arrow, draw it through, bandage the leg type stuff.
You mean he doesn't cut the arrow out carefully so he can reuse it?
No.
Don't stick that knife in your leg, Ricky Bobby.
Ooh, I think you're right.
He might give the broken pieces to Myron just as a reminder.
Make a necklace out of it.
Your sacrifice.
There are tears streaming out of his face, but he's
Yeah,
got no
well,
facial expression.
there's also the archer's supply, so there'll be more arrows to get, but we'll get for that. So I'm going to have to deal with Mirren as well, because I'm the closest thing we've got to a psychologist.
I was going to say, but if it has been a reaction by the time that Pettidier has snapped the arrow, bandaged the leg,
Done all.
he'll stand up and basically, if Myron hasn't reacted by then, he'll give him his own psychology thing and give him a slap across the face to wake him up.
Right.
Drazzle lines up afterwards.
Oh, gold.
Well, he finally made it, put his mirror down, and lines up behind Praetor.
I just realised something. I
Okay,
actually did
slap
have
across the
skills
face
to
and say, what the hell was that about?
That just
cloak.
So you can sneak up and diplomatize people.
I can do exactly that. I can sneak up behind people and whisper in their ears.
Yeah.
I
Just stand dramatically.
Myron snaps out of it and just looks at him and just says, "Help."
What were you thinking? What the hell was happening?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
Just you got to jump amongst them and kill them.
I don't know.
In a land owned by God of Death. I'm not actually particularly surprised.
Drazzle comes forward and gives you a big hug.
At least he didn't slap you.
Oh, he's just gone to pieces, isn't he? He's gone totally to pieces. Just melts.
Yeah. I will do what I can to help you.
Drazzle purrs soothingly in your ear.
Because, I mean, part of the problem, you think, from Petitier's perspective, is we haven't actually known Myron that long to know what he normally is. Because he appeared in the middle of Castle Amber.
Yeah, but we know he's trained as a paladin. We've got half an idea what training entails.
Well, he claims to have been trained as a paladin.
I've got a good idea what type of warrior he was trained as, paladin or not. And acting the way he's just done is generally not part of that sort of training.
But not unsurprising from the era he comes from, because he knew it was humans. Humans at that time when he was younger were attacking the forests. And the elves were considered at war with them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is the thing. My history is actually going to be very useful for this. And I'm trained in it as well. Do you want history and insight or history and persuasion?
Probably say history and persuasion.
Yeah, or all three, which would also make sense. 21 on history. I will do all three actually, because insight is going to be necessary for this.
You do recognise that he did grow up amongst the human and elf wars.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting from the history. But 19 on the insight, and 21 on persuasion.
And there were many a time that humans did, burn elves alive.
Yeah, so he may be remembering encountering burning elves. So, yeah.
And they did consider the humans at the time to be very backward and savage.
Well, they were. So.
But now they're civilized like Petitier.
That's right. But but 3 rolls around 20 should get me to be able to talk to Merrin around the sort of historical things that he's encountered and how it relates to this and deal with that. I would say I'm probably going to be there for an hour odd.
So does Mirroring do the whole trauma of it as a child made him do it?
Yeah, he does. He also conveys that he never wanted to leave. He never wanted to leave what he was doing.
But you were told.
Just being by himself. He never wanted to leave, and for ages he'll just keep repeating, I told him I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. This was going to happen. I didn't want to leave. Didn't want to leave.
But you were told.
So
why
he's
did you?
torn, in a nutshell, he's torn between what his God wants him to do,
And what he wants, and his own.
and what he knows is going to happen.
Yeah.
And he went in seclusion before the war stopped.
Yeah, I actually had something similar, so I could relate to that.
So you
But
say
mine's
you
far
could
more recent.
I think he put himself into exile, and it just he.
Penny doesn't care because he's not a warrior in an army, that kind of thing. But as I say, from an army's perspective, that sounds like deserter to me.
He didn't really desert. He kind of.
Well, he might not think of it as desert, but hey,
He might
you're in the
be,
middle of a war. You're a warrior in the middle of war, and suddenly you decide to go into seclusion.
Because PTSD, of course.
Well, because it's still desertion.
Yes, which is why he was not well regarded.
There were reasons in story.
There were reasons in story. It's actually come out at the table.
That's right.
Of what
And
happened.
And Praetor's perspective is deserter.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yes, that's why his family basically disowned him. And yeah, the fact
It was
that,
just
the fact that
that-
Praetor is actually reading it that way is something that's going to get me to invite him to go and sit on the other side of the cook fire, and possibly just have a little bit of a think while I'm talking to Merrick.
Easy
The
Drizzle
Blackmore
just patting
tech.
him on the head while hugging him.
The Blackmore tech just happened to show up at the right.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah.
because you know about this, but the Blackmore tech showed up at the right time. That everything kind of fell into place where he didn't want to do what he wanted to do,
But
and he saw it as a sign that it was like his way out.
yeah,
And just like it literally like the thing somewhat landed in his lap.
well,
So
here's the thing: if you manage to do something significantly heroic, which is what we're doing at the moment, that may erase people's view of what you had already done.
I hope so because I
and-
can't keep doing this.
No, and that sort of success may help you yourself. So yeah, let's work on succeeding at doing this and see what comes out the end.
He's sheepish as like
Of course
he is
he is.
now like the whip dog of after what he did because there's been twice it's happened now, 3 times.
Yeah, but I think you were driven to this one by the local death god. The fact that you've come back to yourself, I think, is actually a very good sign. If not turning into a death knight, basically.
And in the middle of your discussion, Drizzle asks you why they were making a wood golem.
Me?
Well, he asked Llewell because he's looking at the big wicker man.
They
I'll be back in a sec.
weren't doing a golem, I don't think. Well, what they were trying to do and what they would have ended up with are probably 2 different things. I don't know enough about the ritual they were doing to say what would actually come out of it.
Drizzle looks at it and says he's not impressed.
Well, they may have ended up creating a monster to terrorize the neighborhood. Well,
Golem should be tools, not monsters, he says.
that's true.
And it says it looks rather hollow to him.
Well, it is hollow.
And he looks at it against not much of a golem. He just shakes his head, doesn't seem to understand. These people don't deal in sacrifice.
No.
Because them, sacrifice is a sin.
Yeah, well, it's a life. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's empty now, so we can set light to it and light up
He
the
looks
light.
at it, looks at you sternly. Burn things bad.
What? Even dry wood?
Idol of some sort, burning bad.
You make a very good point.
So
You should chop it up.
is Myron dealing with the bodies?
That's a good. Yes, we should actually, before What's Her Face wakes up, bury her parents.
As I said, is Myron dealing with the bodies?
I will actually ask Myron to help me.
Myron's actually gone away from the screen right now. He'll be back
Yeah,
in a moment.
I know Cameron's not actually around right now, but certainly.
I
Yeah.
would I be able to
At least you could loot the bodies.
Yeah.
other than the Wicker Man
Mhm.
itself, is there enough wood around to build a pyre?
There is plenty.
Okay.
Because there's a forest.
And
Well,
there's-
without
and
me
we could
having to do more chopping.
and we could chop up the Wicker Man and use the wood from this.
I was gonna see if I could do it without touching the Wicker Man, just in case that had
Well,
any
that's actually a really good idea.
residual.
You'd
Do
have
we-
to
do we
actually
actually
cut
do-
from a tree. Because
I-
they've basically taken all loose
Yeah.
wood from around the area.
Yeah, because they were going to use it to light the Wicker Man. I
Cutting a
would
tree without
make the
being
point that
hot enough.
burning bodies takes a while and also takes a lot of wood.
Yeah, true.
I can bury them
Yeah.
and have the earth look normal afterwards.
Yeah.
Because
Penadier will set a campfire and start cooking one of the chickens.
Yep.
Fair enough. Yep. So yeah, I'm going to bury them. If someone else ends up searching the bodies while I'm setting up, that's up to them. I'm not going to.
Okay.
And yeah, as I mentioned, I will use mold earth and basically shake the earth under them and sink the bodies.
Okay. So yes, you managed to you bury the 4 dead people.
Yep.
Do you leave any markings of any sort?
Yes, but it's just going to be like some grass and sticks, you know, actually in a life symbol. Actually, given what they were, an earth symbol, although it's going to be ours, not theirs. But each one's going to have a grass and sticks earth symbol over their torso. Now, it might not last more than a day. That's fine. The symbolism is what's required at this point.
Okay.
And in fact, it being ephemeral is the point. But yeah, each one of them will have that, and it's just going to look like just soft earth once I'm done.
So what is Lani doing? Just
Helping with the animals, I guess.
okay.
Kind of chilling and
You've managed to capture a couple of goats.
cool. Sweet. I have a goat army. Yeah, I did just hanging out with Tidal and
Goats
having
make
the
great
other
pets.
animals around.
So Tidal, the first thing
Penadier
Tidal
thought
notices
is
is
that
got 3 goats all staring at him.
3
What's Parody
goats.
doing?
Mm-hmm.
So Penadier thought basically when we get the
Lani
opportunity,
Oh,
talking
okay.
to Title and Lani will be the
Can we leave
the animals. If the girl is going to accompany us to the next town,
Yeah.
the animals may be something that she can
Trade.
gain some value off to
Yeah.
Okay.
get started.
Let's
Some
leash
will.
these then.
Yeah. Well, here's where it comes down to. I'm preparing these bodies. If you wish to search them for money to give her, that's up to you. As I said,
okay.
I'm not touching their stuff. Do we have?
Penadier will come over and say a few appropriate words from an Atruaghin perspective.
Yep.
But
Give me a
also
religion
they
roll.
comment that
Yeah,
it should have been Myron that did this.
yeah, religion check. Well, Myron's still whacked out of his head at the moment.
Oh, he's getting better.
Well,
I'll come- I'll come in.
No, I've been working on him for an hour. He can't be badly off, but yeah, from what you were saying, he's still going to be affected. But yeah, Parody, you were asked for a religion check.
21.
Just saying.
21. Okay, you managed to say some really nice stirring words on their behalf. Drazzle follows up with something that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But it probably
Even
makes a
le-
lot more sense to the girl.
Even less so than normal.
But it probably makes perfect sense for the girl.
Probably.
He's probably using the correct ones.
Yeah, although she's not awake yet. Unless she wakes up while we're doing this.
No, she slept through
Well-
all.
Yeah. Well, given what she's doing, she's going to sleep for like 10 hours.
Well, Drazzle got less than 10 on his religion roll. He rolled a 4.
Yeah. Ow. Okay, so we finally get something that Cluel can't actually understand from Drazzle. He can normally understand Drazzle even when other people can't.
But
So-
given what we know about Drazzle, you probably assume that he's saying the right things for this land.
Yes. But there is the thing that also he's doing it from a draconic thinking point of view, and that's just we does.
Or he's just giving us the answer of a question we asked 10 hours in the future now.
That's also possibly true. Or is answering a question that she asked in her dream that he finds out in 10 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, weird stuff. Does it feel like we have full normal access to our spells now, or is it still sort of a bit chancy?
It does feel like you've got full access to your spells. It just feels strange. Magic here does seem a little more strained.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse as time goes on.
Okay, so
Okay. So we're going to have to, at this point, we're going to have to keep the girl with us. At least we can find someone to give her to. I'm not sure if there's any possibility of taking her with us or if there's any actual point.
Well, I said I would have said that we can, assuming no one actually returns during the night,
Yes.
and in the morning, as I say, she can certainly make her own choice, but I would suggest that she's probably not going to be welcome locally, and that she can accompany us to is it Zymes on our way to Los Bios or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, to the next town or whatever.
So
And
the next major town is
yes.
Zymes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Myron will be willing to offer recompense Were Guild for her parents.
Anything.
Yeah.
She does not want anything.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to be the sort that wants.
Recompense at all. However, she does have her these animals here, which we can make halters or collars for.
Okay. So the next day you travel
Yep.
after having a restless night for some.
Yeah. Well, we've got the animals are still going to be making noises.
And you've noticed you haven't had any strange dreams since you spent the night in the abbey.
Oh, that's actually really nice.
Well, no, that's disturbing, really. But,
Well, it's also disturbing because the elves are still sleeping.
Yep.
Is it worthwhile me doing a Lehman's tiny hut ritual for the night, or do we just sleep? Because
well, I think that if set a guard,
yeah,
I wouldn't say it would make significant sense. I would not suggest, or I would suggest that you wish that magic use should be kept to an absolute minimum.
Yeah.
there is that.
I think if we just do our normal, like, take shifts and then
Yeah,
camp out, because, like, we're out beneath a giant totem, I feel like it's enough to scare.
it'll scare most
Something
things off.
away.
Yeah, that's true.
So, alright, so, yeah, we sleep there and then next morning get going towards Zion.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
bugger off that way.
Tidal has a nice egg breakfast.
1 egg. Have an omelet.
I'm sure you can have more if you catch a couple more chickens.
Yeah.
I'm good. We've got 3 goats now. We're fine.
They don't
bitty
lay
bitty
eggs.
and gruff.
Yeah, but they don't
Yeah.
lay eggs.
And just be careful which ones you try to milk.
I'm not gonna get it. At least I hope not.
Okay, so you
So that way.
you travel further down the road once you get back to it, and you find that two roads meet together in the city of Zymes, which is a sprawling walled settlement built in lush farmlands.
Right.
You can see lots of vineyards all around the city. It's
But
stone. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but we're looking for a place south of Zymes, aren't we?
That's
Les
where-
Hymas or something?
That's where you wanted to head to.
Yeah.
Its stone building stands strong, and its gates are crowded with travelers and merchants who are sort of looking out in your direction with trepidation.
As they.
Is Celeste still with us?
She's still with you.
Yeah, she's going to be with us till actual Zymes.
Well, but we're here.
Well, yes, but we've only
Okay.
just got here.
Yeah, to make certain that she had stayed with us the whole way, or there might have been another small village that she dropped off at, I think, like that. So.
There's just little farmsteads here and there, but there's no more villages between you and this place.
Okay. Well, on the travel then, does she express a desire to go to Zymes or this Les Hebos or whatever?
She doesn't know what she wants to do. She was going to get married, but well, that's not how to happen.
No.
Well, apparently it wasn't going to happen either.
Hmm.
If her parents had their way.
Yeah. She wasn't too happy with that decision either.
No.
You're being sacrificed by your fiance. That's a bit of a damper on things.
Well,
Well, parents.
Or parents. Sorry.
out of the,
and family.
And family.
Yeah.
out of the goats, how many are female?
Two are female, one's a male.
I tell her you have the makings of a nice big goat farm. Here you can sell the milk, make cheese. Probably best you set yourself up as a merchant from here.
She just gives you a hug.
Mm-hmm.
I give
She
her
doesn't
a
know
hug.
much about animals.
I give her a hug back. I'm like, let's see if maybe we can find somebody that you can apprentice with.
She just nods and cries.
Yeah, I have her under my arm and I
It's
just
been a
walk
trying
with
couple
her.
of days for her.
I just
Yeah.
walk with her with her under my arm and just kind of like chat with her just to.
Take her on as an
and-
apprentice fighter.
Right, exactly.
I teach
But-
her good self-defense moves.
By the time we get to Zymes,
Yep.
if she's not necessarily particularly keen on Zymes, then as far as I'm concerned, she could be welcome to accompany us to Les Hebos and.
Yeah.
But yes, and if so, do we have a reason for entering Zymes?
Yes, that's where you can get a boat south to Les Hebos.
Yep, and that's how we get. That's how we.
Oh, okay, so it's not a walk to Les Hebos?
No, it's in the
No,
middle of a
it's a
swamp.
Too far.
Right, okay, yeah.
Too far plus swamp.
So as you approach the gates, you hear someone call out, "Bonjour! Is it truly the saviors of Ions, the slayer of the beast?"
We can be that for you, no problem.
"Oh, my friends, I was in the city and witnessed your great deeds."
Who we're looking at, who's speaking?
Okay, a guy with fancy clothing, lots of rings,
Right.
big beard, no mustache.
Okay. So who do we have the pleasure of addressing?
It is I, Hercule. Do you remember me? You have no memory
Hercule
of me.
Poirot.
Hercule.
Hercule the Unknown.
Yes. Which Hercule are you?
I am Hercule, the wine merchant. I'm the most famous wine merchant of the land. And people are, guys, sort of scratching his head.
He's the most famous wine merchant in his head. Yes.
My friends, let me assist you in any way I can to repay you for my debts.
We will accompany you to somewhere where we can talk.
Sure, sure. And he says, make way for the heroes. As he yells out, and the guys just shrug and...
Let it happen.
Yeah.
Because he's a loony.
Okay, you don't have to go far. Not far from the gate itself is inn where he seems to be known.
Okay.
And as you walk in, he just claps and says, more wine, as people just start coming up carrying glasses of wine, and he hands them out to you.
Pettidier will ask of Celeste if she's heard of this Hercule, the winemaker.
She looks at him and goes, no.
Okay.
He's as famous as he thinks he is. Sorry, he's not quite as famous as he thinks he is.
And he starts introducing his dear friends to everyone. The party.
Yeah.
He's his dear friends.
Yes, I will introduce everyone to him, so he's got their name.
Think Londo.
I thought you said
Malari
D&D
from...
friends.
No, dear
Wait a
friends.
minute.
Well, it's also true, but
Yeah,
not
I
very
know.
useful.
So think Londo Malari from the start of
Yeah.
Babylon 5.
Yeah. By the way, on the trip to here, I will have healed those guys.
Hmm.
So.
Okay.
Who got healed?
You've been
You,
healed.
yeah. So
How much?
everybody's
down
at
30.
100.
I'm not-
That'd be nice.
I'd be loving it if I was at 100.
Everybody's at 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you could always turn around and go, everyone takes 100 damage. What? For some of them, that would be an instant death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've still got 2 halves of broken arrow, though.
Hmm.
I'll keep them. Funnily enough, I will keep them.
I guess talking with
So what time of day do we arrive at Gines then?
You arrive probably about hour before sunset. And your new friend Hercule, long-term friend, dear friend,
yes.
as he says, is happy to put you up for the night.
You take up his gracious off.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. And you find each of you has a resplendent room, big king-size bed.
So this is at the tavern that he's taken us into, is that right?
Yep.
This guy's
And
loaded.
do we see, is there apparently an innkeeper that is separate from Hercule, or is
Yes,
Hercule
so-
apparently the owner?
There is an innkeeper and there is an owner and there is serving people and everyone seems to do everything this guy asks.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of clout, I imagine.
Yeah. On the other hand, if it turns out in the morning that he's stiffing us to the bill, we have a perfectly good reason to
Hunt him down
Do
and kill him.
the
rude to him.
do the barmaids appear happy and healthy?
They do all appear happy and healthy and well fed.
Well,
And unlike most of the population you've seen so far, everyone here appears washed and clean.
Cool.
Pettidier will ask of Celeste during the evening then as to... You did not seem to be particularly taken at the idea of becoming a goat herd. Potentially our dear friend may have a employment opportunities for you.
Apparently she doesn't take too well to that one.
Okay.
Just thoughts.
Just the dice roll.
If you decide on something, you
Natural one on that roll.
she's not going to go for wine. Yeah, if you come up with something that we can help you with, we'll give you what aid we can.
Okay. So in the morning, a messenger arrives. Doesn't shoot the paladin in the leg this time.
Good.
So I'm sure the paladin feels glad that he gets a message without a arrow.
Well, I was going to say, it's just Pettidier had a rather pointed message. That's different.
And each of you receives a envelope delivered by this person with this fancy seal on the back.
Is the seal similar to the family crest?
No, it's completely different. It is
Okay.
very elaborate, and it's in wax.
Okay. Is it a sigil we've seen here before?
No, but it does appear to have the crosses in it you've seen in the Inquisition.
Right.
And what does the message say?
Yeah.
Peter, you happy to open his?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll look at mine as well.
It is an invitation to tonight's festivities.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Basically,
Does it say like festival of something, or does
it says the
specifically
Feast
say-
of St. Guillaume of Zymes.
We will ask our new favourite friend, and also
He didn't get one.
we will ask him what it is.
Oh, he says it is a annual banquet held in the Mayor's Palace, sponsored by the Church of Zymes.
Okay.
And it's considered a high honour to be invited, he says, looking rather sad.
Well, it's such a shame then that we can't stick around.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have pressing business in Les Isvos.
So,
Well, actually, I asked our
So,
dear friend,
Mhm.
would somebody like the Bishop Azrak be in attendance at an
Yes,
event like this?
he presides over it.
He presides over it.
Ah.
Perfect.
He
He's
can't not be there.
yeah.
Brilliant.
He's the bishop of this town.
Okay.
Gotcha.
What do we know about Bishop Azrak?
He has the church or the. He has a potion of time travel, as told us by Luke
So-
in the previous show.
He's
Oh,
got,
the White Wizard.
he's got one of
Yeah.
the things we need.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought we were looking down in Les Isvos for the potion, weren't we?
Well, that's because we were told that he could possibly be in this hitbox.
So
but
the map that you were given
Yeah.
by the riddles said
Yep.
Les Hibox.
Yep.
But when you mentioned some of the details to the White Wizard, he mentioned Azdarak out of Zymes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
So it's an additional lead to the original lead you had.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then you also have a third lead for the potion, except that one traveled through time.
yeah.
Got drunk.
So,
So you do know that the time travel potion actually exists.
yeah, we know it exists and it
Yeah.
works. And the White Wizard told us that this bishop possibly has a potion, and he is not exactly to be trusted. So it's not that he's bad; it's just that he may or may not be helpful to us.
And he's probably going to try and take advantage.
Most likely,
Yeah.
especially if we were just invited to
Yeah.
his festival banquet.
Yeah. Deceptive people are often like that.
That's
Do
what
the
we know.
invitations allow us to bring guests?
Yes, you can bring you and a guest if you wish to.
Okay.
And basically it's for this evening, so you have a day to prepare.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I guess that our business in Les Isvos can potentially be delayed by a day.
Yes.
It's priest Alzarak, or what's his name?
Bishop
Azdarak or something.
Yeah.
Bishop what? Sorry.
Bishop of Zymes.
Bishop
Azdarak.
Azdarak.
Azedarac. Though the E also does have a hat on it, so it is accented.
Mm-hmm.
I can never do the accents properly.
Me either.
Excuse me.
What do we want from the guy? Potentially a potion of time travel.
Yeah. He's apparently got one, so whether or not apparently he's not necessarily one who's likely to be trustworthy or helpful.
He could potentially even make it.
And he's also,
I had more than one before.
as a bishop of the religion in the area, he's probably not going to be all that keen to interact with certain people.
Yeah, that's right.
However, I suspect that at least some of us probably don't have appropriate attire to attend such a function.
Do you mention this to your host?
So I'm wondering the fact that we may need to find suitable attire today.
Our new friend is already on it. I'm presuming.
Well, if you
I
offer
will
to
mention it.
do you offer to take her?
Benedict asking if Celeste wishes to attend.
Best.
She would be happy to go to a party with you.
Yes. Do the invitations say and guest?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, cool.
And we all got one individually, didn't we?
You did,
Yeah,
yes.
Yes. So we can take.
With your actual names on them.
Yes.
So which
Plenty of
you
room to
haven't
guess
really
then.
told people.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's a thing.
yeah.
That's
I don't
a
like
particular
that.
Good reason. No, it's a particularly good reason to assume that we're walking into a trap.
Considering even has your full names on it, which you may never have told people.
Yeah, I can see at least one of us looking at it and going, putting it away. Yeah. So yeah, it's a trap. We're going to go in aware, and attempt to spring it at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. I think if did Pradier invite Celeste?
Yes.
Well, he asked if she wished to come, and she said she would be interested. And
Then I will offer my +1 to our host Hercule and said, if I would love to have somebody as knowledgeable as you to attend this feast with me. That way we are all according to.
He is extremely ecstatic and talks about buying you appropriate clothing for the event.
That would be excellent, and I
Yeah,
thank him for his gratuitousness.
Yeah, I can just see him running around the circle and just zooming out the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems like his day has just happened.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of he's been offered to meet the Queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or his favourite pop star.
Well, there's the thing. He's now being treated as the celebrity that he thinks he is.
Exactly. I
So,
100% play into it.
Feeding that. Yeah.
And as he's doing all of this, I want to get to know what he knows about the bishop.
Okay, so from his perspective,
I'm sure
the bishop is this religious dude who lives in the center of the city.
And the religion is
and that's after probably about 5 or 6 different flowery descriptions of story that he tells you.
Yeah.
And that's as much as you get.
So he doesn't know much.
He has no idea.
That's fair.
But whenever you mention wine, he knows so much about wine.
Yes.
So much that's not very helpful to you whatsoever.
Well, we're not walking. Well, actually, finding out what the bishop's favourite wine is.
He doesn't even know that. But he can tell you all about wine.
Yeah, except the bit that we actually want.
So, and he arranges for a tailor to show up and get something prepared for each of you.
Mm-hmm.
Is Celeste getting her mind taken somewhat off her recent tragedy with the newfound experience of a new dress?
Well, she says it's the first time she's ever had clothes made for her.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably like way above her, even what she could have thought would have happened in her lifetime.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was expecting someone to buy her a wedding dress, and this is probably going to be much lighter than
No,
the
she would
first
like
one.
have to make her own wedding
Well,
dress.
possible,
Yeah.
Or just get dressed in whatever clothing she had.
and
Yeah.
make
So-
sure, yeah, make sure they're all clean. But, well,
Has-
we don't know exactly
Has
how
Hercule
close she was.
indicated whether he's married?
Pardon?
Hercule.
Has Hercule indicated whether he's married?
He has not, but he puts himself forward as the dashing Casanova that everyone knows.
So
He's a player.
He
Yeah,
plays up
attempted
his
player.
bachelor status.
Though he does seem to flirt more with Llewell than anyone else.
Hey.
I don't think he does the
Fine.
hero.
What?
Or maybe he does, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Because, I mean, let's face it, from Benedict's perspective, Celeste is way past marriageable age.
frightening people.
I'm just gonna. I'd like to find just like a barmaid.
Yes, you find many a barmaid who all look you up and down and smile charmingly in your direction, then walk away from you.
Oh.
Oh, how rude.
Well, they come back with the drink if you ask for one, but place it without any further.
Can I try and persuade one of them? Or ask? Just I'm not gonna try and persuade. I'm just gonna ask a couple if they want to come to.
Ask a couple?
Oh, you first one.
Let's see. Most of them say, let me think about it. So how many do you ask?
3.
Well, if you get
Okay.
a 20, he gets 20. No,
Okay, you have one of them show up. After you ask
Nice.
3 of them.
oh, well,
Nice.
1 in 3 is not too bad.
And you have 2 drinks
33.
poured on your head.
Oh, that's all right.
Apparently you asked the wrong way.
Okay,
Would you like-
I'm sure,
would you like
I'm
to
sure
come
the
to this
third one
really-
loved being third.
We are
Would
in
you
a-
like to come to this really fancy dinner with handmade clothes made for you right now?
We are in a different culture. You've got to be careful about that.
Well,
Although
the
To be fair, he doesn't talk to many people.
no, although amusingly, the French high-class styles at the time isn't actually going to be too far off what I normally wear.
okay, so
Just
the
one
Getting
out of
new
3 is
colours
not bad.
good because I've sort of changed. The same way, our winter elf
Yeah.
keeps changing colours. I've changed colours recently.
so each of you get a parcel of clothing.
Yep.
Except for the barmaid who got asked after the clothing was all measured.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to say that I'd. Anyway.
Well, go out and buy.
Give me a
Go
insight
buy-
roll for your character.
Okay. Can I please get a table re-roll for that?
Yes, you can get a table re-roll for that
Alright.
abysmal roll.
Insight. Insight. That is 15.
Okay, so about midday you realise that everyone else had already been measured by the time she said yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to do something about that.
And you did promise her a dress.
Okay. That's it. I've got to fulfill it. I've got to do it. It's part and parcel of doing the right thing.
Do you
Can
go
I
out, do you head off to get a
ask-
dress, or do you take her to go get a dress?
I'll take her to go get a dress. First of all, I'm going to try and bludge some money off Hercule.
Well, getting a local money.
Because I do actually have money on me.
Mhm.
I've got useless paper. That's what I have. Because I nicked it off someone else. So I do have useless paper, but I don't know how much it actually is.
Do you pull that out to show
Yeah.
the girl? Oh, she goes,
Is
oh,
it
that's
actual-
plenty.
Is it currency?
It is currency.
Yeah.
It's
Would I
it's useless
know how
paper
much
to
it
you.
is?
If
If it's useless paper, I wouldn't know how much it is.
to
yeah.
you it's useless paper, to her it's a fortune.
Yeah. She
Okay.
says it's fine.
Oh, well, then I'll just use that then. Okay, well, if you... Okay.
Okay, so
she's going to be she's going to be the one in the dress that's got cloth of gold on it.
so
Yeah, I'll give her the whole lot.
you go
Oh, no,
from
okay.
store to store with her.
Oh, great. I've gone on a shopping trip.
Yep. You so think very much the Pretty Woman shopping trip,
Shopping montage.
I've given her the whole wad of cash too.
where you're the one who has to sit there and comment on everything she's trying on.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna cast Bless on myself.
What, to try and stop you putting your foot in the mouth?
Yep.
And give me a diplomacy roll to
Literally,
see how well you did it.
So Bless is just
A +1.
a +1. Yeah. All right. So. Can I get one more table reroll?
Yep,
'Cause
you
that was a
can.
1.
You can, because I think I could even hear the one on this end.
All right. Oh, mate, that's a 5.
So much better
was
than a
it
1.
persuasion? Was it persuasion?
It
Was
was diplomacy.
If that's persuasion, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Actually, I've got a nothing in persuasion. Never mind. Carry on.
So you've got a whole 5.
It's a 5.
Okay, so she takes you to a jewelry store
Interesting.
afterwards to make up for your description of her in her clothing.
Unfortunately, she's already gone through the first one of cash when she takes you to the jewelry store.
One spell gone. Anyway, out of curiosity, I would have given her a couple of grand.
Okay, so turns out she's a little bit short for the necklace she was picking up, and the owner is looking towards you.
Hi.
And he's looking down at the necklace and at you, and with his sticks his hand out.
I have nothing. I'm gonna offer him some incense blocks.
So I'm sorry, but this isn't useful to me.
You don't know if it's not useful unless
It says
you've tried it.
I do know. I don't need herbs for anything.
They make the rest of the day really good if you smoke them.
I'm not into recreational drugs, he says.
Do you have some GPs?
I never got told how much coin I got.
It would have been in
What's-
your background
Yeah.
information.
But it's going to be a few.
It'd be hermit, isn't
But,
it?
okay, but did he have
Much.
reason to collect money at all? While he was in isolation?
No, not really. I probably would have left with a minimal amount.
Oh, you've got to be able to pay people to clean your armour and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh no, he's been quite used to doing it all himself because he's been living alone.
Let's see, where's my...
I'll just Google it.
It comes with 5 GP.
Great.
So you have 5 gold.
Okay, well, I'll bust the gold out because I haven't used it any other time and I've never collected more.
Let's see, how much do I have you down for?
Yeah, that's what we had in the player's handbook. I don't know if he
Yeah.
did anything extra.
He may have gotten some more from his background.
Yeah.
Of course, you know the amusing thing? Are you still displaying the crest of
Actually, he has
Yeah.
205 gold pieces.
There
Okay.
you go.
205. Right, I'll try 10 of that.
Okay, he's quite happy with that 10 gold, and puts a nice little bow on the box,
Okay.
and hands it to you and says, I hope this makes a good wedding gift.
Yep. Bye.
was that in hearing of Celeste? No, sorry, the barmaid?
Yep.
Hang on. Did she... So she heard that.
Yep.
Did she get flustered?
Nope.
Oh, well, there you go, then I'm fine.
No.
I don't think she wants to marry us. Bye. It's just the first date, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but hey, you've demonstrated your Mr. Moneybags. You've got the crest of one of the local noble families.
Yep.
Hey, I might be a psychopathic paladin with PTSD, but I ain't no sugar daddy.
That's not what you've shown us so far.
Hey, first
Unfortunately,
of all, I had useless paper. I didn't know what that was.
Unfortunately, you've shown yourself to be an excellent sugar daddy today. As you've dumped more on her than she'd make in a lifetime on the one day.
Ah, okay.
And
Does she look like she's appreciating it, or is she just going along for the ride?
I know she's appreciating it.
Okay.
Appreciating the money and the attention.
I suppose I'll take the rest of the day to kind of just get to know her and make so it's not awkward when we roll on up as like king, queen of prom.
Well, she's hoping very much you'll find a husband at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just not here.
Well, he's paid for her to look nice.
That's true.
He's done the whole transformation process for her.
and apparently bought her a wedding ring.
Was it a necklace?
It was a necklace, but a necklace fit for a royal gift.
Yeah, which means she sells it afterwards and she's set for life.
Or she wears it to the event and looks like she's nobility. Yeah.
And in that way, she can marry up.
Yeah.
But as I say, if she recognised the heraldry on his clothing, then
She
it may
never-
well have already decided she's found her nobility. She's found her prince.
That is true.
Who's already demonstrated that obviously he loves her enough to spend all this money on her.
Unfortunately,
and he's
she
got
missed it.
important to obey.
So that was her perception roll there, Jeremy.
The reflection, I can actually see it.
Yeah. There you go. I just happened to land it perfectly that it was reflecting as just white.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the family chateau was in ruins, so maybe she hasn't heard of the family, or family hasn't been around.
She didn't
doesn't
identify
know.
it.
Yeah. Also, like.
Plus, he also never said the name.
Yeah. But at that point, like, maybe the family crests weren't used as much. Like,
Did-
it's still known, but not
Yeah.
not like what you're known by.
Did the young girl, she's not interested in staying at the bar, is she?
She has been staying there, but
No, but she's not interested in staying.
no.
She didn't appear to be particularly interested in it when Grenadier mentioned it last night.
She managed to
No.
roll a natural one on her interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does not.
And that's fine.
No.
I'm just going to ask, I don't know, what's the girl's name that I'm with, by the way?
She
Well, you don't even know her name. You're about to be engaged and you haven't even found her name.
she says, well, it's nice of you to ask after all this time.
What?
No wonder she was third on your list.
She still hasn't told you what it is, mind you.
I
but
haven't told her mine either, so that
but
works.
she
Like,
said
like-
she said she told you about it 3 times now.
Okay, did I remember?
You weren't paying attention.
Hey?
You weren't paying attention.
Ah. No, I wasn't.
It's weird. Mirren doesn't listen.
No. So what is her name, actually, out of curiosity? Out of the game?
She tells you again and give me a perception roll.
That was one of those
Oh, yeah, no.
28 left.
10.
10. You're too busy looking at someone else walking by as she tells you.
Oh, God.
Yep, there's
And
a reason she was third on your list.
And you realise yet again you've missed her name.
Okay, can I actually really find out what her name is?
Sure.
I'll focus all my attention on her.
I'll give you a
I'm
perception
gonna
roll with
cast bless
advantage.
myself again.
You gotta get down on one knee so you can really hear properly.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Divine Favour as well. That means I just do an extra 1d4 damage on hit, but that's not the point. It's Divine
So-
Favour.
I will give you advantage on your perception roll as you really try to focus.
Yeah, that's right. As you get down on one knee to listen
Okay,
carefully.
22.
22. She says her name is Josephine.
Josephine, thank you.
And she says that's now the 5th time I've told you. Hopefully it sticks this time.
Yes, well, it's like the second first level. Anyway,
She says, does this have something to do with those pointy ears of yours? Is that why you can't hear things that well?
yes.
Birth defect?
Yes.
Does that mean that your friend traveling with you is your brother because he has the same birth defect?
He's from the same extended family.
Which is true.
So it's a family defect.
It's the extended family defect. You
He's also got a speech impediment.
Let's go. I'll cast my second level spell and cast Find Steed.
Your steed's not here.
No, I'm only kidding. That was a joke.
I was just teasing you.
Right off into the sunset.
It makes my brain hurt.
Yes, unfortunately, if you ride off into the sunset in some world, it might go poof as you catch a light.
That's true.
Righto, so she's all sorted and all dressed up and dolled up, ready to go. Let's head back to the tavern where everyone is.
Okay, you show up and and he seems to be. You see Mirren come in with some noble woman who you have not met before. Doesn't look familiar at all in any way. Apparently, he picked up while he was in town and dumped the serving maid somewhere along the way.
Although I do know people change a lot when you dress them up like that. But
The appearance looks so different.
it doesn't matter.
Money can buy happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter to me. So I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay, so the rest of you have nice fancy clothing.
Yep.
It seems to mostly fit, except for the elf. It's a bit short. But they don't normally make legs that long or arms that long.
Their dress forms don't fit that.
Well,
And Drazzle didn't bother with any of it. He just makes his own.
their dress forms aren't fit for someone who's nearly 7 feet tall.
But Taylor's probably like, you have such odd proportions.
So they extended as far as they could.
Myra's just going to pull Josephine aside and just tell her to look after Celeste. Ask her just to look after Celeste tonight.
But she was going to find a husband.
Just keep an eye on her.
Isn't that why
please.
you got her dolled up so she can get a better life?
Just keep an eye on her. That's all. I'm just asking her to keep an eye on her. That's all.
She sighs and says, "Okay."
It's up to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you don't want to, well, you've got all the clothing afterwards and you can sell it or keep it as you like.
Well, you can't rent clothing here.
Hmm?
They don't rent clothing here, so you
No.
can't rent it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about anything.
Okay, so getting close to evening, you can hear music start up on various parts of the town as they're making announcements,
Right.
and you see groups of people moving towards the center of town.
Okay.
And your good friend Hercule is more than happy to escort everyone there.
Of course.
Yep. We allow him to do so.
You get outside and there's his large carriage.
Like,
And
carriage.
enough for with horses. It's got 4 horses.
It's what I'm familiar with. I am more on board with this. I would.
Nicely polished wood carriage behind it.
Proper treatment.
Says, my friends, spared no expense.
I've noticed. You've done extremely well.
And
Pettidier will have a quiet word to Title on the way saying that there's probably going to be curtains there. I'll leave them alone.
I'll just like stand outside.
That's probably where the curtains will be.
Wait, that curtains outside and inside?
Well, they might have banners up. That's a curtain, isn't it?
That's up to debate.
Drazzle just whispers to you, if they attack you, he'll burn them down.
Then you burn the place down.
He doesn't care, but if they attack you, he'll burn them down. He doesn't like burning things, but for you, he'll do it.
I guess Drazzle will keep me safe. I'll just stick with Drazzle then.
We'll keep you something.
Keep him warm.
That's true.
Okay.
I just hope this isn't the second place I accidentally burned down.
No, not second place. You already burnt second place down.
Oh, did I? Wait,
Tower.
that was the first.
No, he says it was the second.
What was the first?
Oh, he described it to you. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Was that when you were taller, Drazzle?
I'll just take your word for it.
Chronologically, it was first.
So it would have been when John
But
was shorter.
not by his chronology.
It's already happened
To you, but not him.
to the world,
But not him.
but it still is first.
Yes. But not in his timeline.
Well, he was there
Will be there.
and was there.
Yes, and there's the distinction. For him, it will be. To you, it was.
No, it will be. And was.
Thank you, Ralph. He doesn't know about it yet.
He just pats him on the shoulder and says, "You did well." Nice fire.
I just say you're welcome.
Badly decorated anyway.
He managed to escape afterwards.
It was happy.
Yes.
It was worth it.
Oh dear.
Alrighty.
Okay, so as you come around the corner, you see this lavish 3-story building with 3 large wings extending from a central structure in front of a large grassy commons near the heart of the city. Just down the street, the spire of the Cathedral of St. Guillaume is visible, a constant reminder of the church's power in the commercial city. The mayor's palace is alight with many lamps and lanterns. The steady stream of finely dressed attendees are arriving at the front of the steps, in carriages and on foot.
Okay.
Velvet-coated footmen greet guests, collecting invitations and ushering them inside beneath large, lavish banners of many colours. Most of them with some sort of grape symbolism on them, or wine
Okay.
symbolism.
Oh, okay.
Being that sort of country.
So I allow our host to take us forward, and since he is my +1, I will present my invitation.
He announces to everyone, who you are and how wonderful you are, and what a great person you are, and how much of a hero you are.
Humbly say, "Oh, thank you. It's all right."
And you realize he's basically talking you up to the valet,
Yeah, to the valet.
and then to the guard at the door, and then to the.
I'm sure they're just like, yeah, whatever you say, her do.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's doing this, so we're going to be discounted because it's him.
Mm-hmm. Fine with me.
Yeah.
And you see lots of men dressed in velvet and lace moving around a large open area with servers and workmen sort of blending into the background, just
Yeah.
coming up with food and removing empty drinks, bringing new drinks.
Doing good
Just-
stuff.
Just sort of background more than actual talking.
Right.
How's the place looking for guards? Is it like swarming, or are they just kind of present?
You see men in purple velvet standing around, looking attentive, each of them with a metal rod against their shoulder.
Right.
What we know now to be firearms.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah, okay. Alright. So they're present, but they're not.
Not obvious. Not. Yeah.
No.
Just there as a deterrent. They're not there as like muscle or an intimidation. They're just standard guard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And standing out amongst the crowd are a group of people in red cloaks with black hats and plumes out of their hats, and with a similar-looking gold cross on their hats,
How unexpected.
speaking in a language you don't understand. Very flowery.
Yeah. Well, it's the Spanish Inquisition. Of course, we don't expect it.
No one expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly. What?
And most of the people are going through some sort of strange dance on the dance floor.
Wild.
Yes, you've never seen that sort of dancing. It's sort of close, fast, strange music, lots of percussion. a lot more horns than you're used to.
It looks interesting, but it's not the sort of dancing that I want to learn on the fly.
But it does require a lot of contact. Hook you, break you to the floor.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
He seems to be a dancer. Give me a perform check.
Yeah, I sure. Let's
Can
see.
we all see this?
Yes.
I'm not terrible. Performance?
Yep.
19.
Okay, so he is, you know that embarrassing person out on the dance floor? That's him.
Is this precisely the scene from Frozen with the Duke of Wesselton? I
So-
feel like it's that.
He's the all eager, all feet, all hands, doing all these strange dance moves that has absolutely nothing to do with the music,
Mm-hmm.
but very enthusiastic. The music even stops and everyone's staring, looking at him, and he's still going.
It's just expressing the emotion, man.
So is Celeste or Josephine trying to get on the dance floor?
No, they're watching him with horror.
And he's just showing that jazz is just a thing.
And basically, he's in his own world, dancing around with
With Lonnie.
Lonnie.
Well, Lonnie's like actually dancing like everybody else. He's just like, yes,
Well, as
yes,
far as you can get to, yeah.
yes. Moving there, he's just ahead of his time.
Yeah.
That's all.
And he's happy. He doesn't care that everyone stopped to watch him. He just thinks that they're admiring his form.
Lonnie 100% appreciates this guy's attitude to life.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
Hakuna
setting
Matata,
the
no
standard.
worries.
Or he's setting a new mode.
And after the dance, he gives you a big hug and says thanks, and goes and chases down Luell. So, what's everyone else doing?
I'm watching people at the moment. Particularly, I'm keeping an eye on the guys in red with the fluky hats.
Mm-hmm.
And if I end up talking to somebody, which I'll attempt to do, I'm going to ask who they are.
Okay.
I'm going to be friendly and approachable and chatty about the people.
And what's Jeremy bringing up?
So Penadier is basically on arrival. So he said to Celeste that, well, potentially you may find a life at this location.
She's happy to.
I'm happy to leave you to your own devices.
She goes wandering and sampling all the food she's never tried before.
And then he's basically going to be aiming to find a quiet spot off to the side in a corner or something like that. Just watching what's happening, what's going on, get an idea of where the exits are, all those sorts of things.
Important small details.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can easily see the exits. It's where the purple guys dressed in purple are standing. They make it quite obvious where every exit is.
Well, I'm looking for the less obvious ones as well, that mean that, okay, yep, if we have to get out of here, can we not go through purple guys or other options?
That's the window to go through.
And even when you're looking around, you notice that anything that is a viable exit without breaking something has one of those guys next to it.
Okay.
The more obvious ones has two. The less obvious ones has one.
So then and it's just watching the people, watching the activity, watching the guards.
Yeah.
And what is Tidal doing during all this?
Probably following the head ritualist, who was the guy that was around.
So you head out to dance as well?
No, I'm going to follow him.
Okay.
He'll keep a quiet eye on Celeste just to make sure he doesn't get himself in too much trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is Mirren doing?
I'll ask Josephine to dance if she wishes to.
Okay.
If she wishes to.
She says now that guy's finished, she'll try. So she takes you out onto the dance floor. A perform roll for our paladin.
Yes.
no.
Worse than what Hercule was doing. Bloody hell.
Terrible.
Oh, she's going well, so you're going to make yourself look bad.
No, I don't have performance, do I? No, where would I have performance?
Maybe
That doesn't make
charisma,
sense.
so-
No.
It's perception. I keep getting them confused. No, that was a 4.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about how
So
Hercule
again,
was doing
the
this
male
really
is
horrible one.
performing for the female.
Apparently, she does the entire tango thing for you, looking absolutely fantastic while you're just standing there going, huh?
She's so amazing that you get stunned.
Just good. I'm frightened again.
And not long after she's left the dance floor and you're still standing there, you realise you're the only one on the dance floor.
Huh. I'll just shrug and leave.
Okay, and at that time, Hercules shows up to Llewell and starts to drag him to the dance floor.
It's empty now too, remember.
Eyes for you.
Yes, he did.
Right in the middle of you about to talk to someone, you just put your hand out, he just takes your hand and starts dragging you onto the dance floor.
I'm standing off in the
And
corner.
and
I'm
of course,
popping along with the music.
Remember,
I'm just like,
remember,
"Get
Cool.
I thought you were with Lonnie.
Remember, Cool.
Yeah.
He's the one that knows the dance, so you better let him lead.
Oh,
He says he's dancing with everyone.
I'm definitely going to let him lead.
And apparently he does this amazing dance with Llewell.
Nice.
He demonstrates to Lani that he can actually dance.
I don't suck.
So it's this really, you see this really romantic cheek-to-cheek dancing with Hercule and Llewell.
I am 100% suspecting that he doesn't realize that Llewell's a boy.
Yeah.
That's mostly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm just
generous.
enjoying this. I'm letting it happen. This is hilarious.
Okay.
Yes. Paul will be non-committal with a pleasant smile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically going to go, I'm being diplomatic right now.
He's a good dancer. Apparently when he's not with Lani. He was all feet around her.
Apparently.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay. So, while Pradir is looking around off to the side, give me a perception check for him.
That's an unfortunate roll. 14.
Still enough for you to pick up something, because everyone else was sort of watching specific things. You were looking out for something different. And you notice a young man with red hair and a thin mustache. He stands out because his clothing is definitely out of place. Looking very much lower class.
Right.
And like a tradesman other than a noble. Everyone else is dressed in nobility sort of clothing. He's not.
Yeah.
And he just seems to be pushing through the crowd.
Does he apparently have a goal or a target that he's pushing through to get to?
Give me an insight roll to see if you can figure that out.
Oh, that's better. 23.
Okay, he does not seem particularly happy with the nobility around him, and he does have one hand underneath his top, as if he's holding something hidden.
Aha.
So he's out to stab somebody.
He's alerted my watchman instincts.
Very much so. He has that look of someone about to do something rather nasty.
Pulls out a donut.
At this stage, I will just keep a watch on him, possibly move a bit closer to him so that I'm in a position to potentially act if he's doing anything, but not going any further at this stage.
Okay. So, if you're not going to do anything about an...
If I see or catch the eye or go past one of the others while I'm going through,
Yeah.
I will point out that I believe we have a potentially uninvited guest in the party.
Right.
Well, do I see this as...
You get pointed... you have enough time for everyone to have had it pointed out to them.
Can I...
I'll aim
move
to actually
in
just
front-
not
to
necessarily
go in front
obvious that you
of
see him.
his path,
Yep.
whichever way he's heading.
You manage to get in front of his path. He looks you right in the face. He doesn't seem to be... Like, most of the people, they sort of, don't really have eye contact thing and just sort of move away from everyone as if it's all part of the dance. He just looks directly up at you.
And I say, "You alright there, boy?"
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
Alright. Okay.
To see
While
how
that's
much he's
going on,
willing to talk to you.
Can I have a look at what the guards are doing? Like, have the guards seen him? Because if he looks out of place,
Yeah, that's
You
what I was
know.
picking up on. So if you look up at
Yeah.
13.
if he's
13. He doesn't seem to be that into talking to you and steps around you.
Can I do a perception check to tell what if he has a weapon or something?
Sure.
Okay.
And
So,
Mirren is having a. The guards aren't paying him much attention because he hasn't actually done anything
Yeah.
harmful
Yeah.
or.
Yeah.
They're acting in exactly the same way that Peregrine was acting.
okay.
But they
From
would.
the
prob-
guard watchman perspective.
But they are watching you guys as much as they're watching everyone else.
Yes.
Okay, so they're just—he's kind of gone unnoticed by them then.
If
let's
they've
say.
noticed him, he hasn't done anything to warrant
Yeah,
their
okay.
action.
No worries.
I get the impression that they're not here to look after the people here. They're here to protect the doors.
I got a 15 on the roll, perception roll.
He does seem to have some sort of concealed weapon on him. But none of you have taken weapons in with you.
Yeah. I kind of step again to block his path, and I say it's
Mhm.
probably best, to move along.
I'll
Can I
make
do
that.
it?
I'll make that an intimidation roll.
Yeah, that's intimidation.
Yeah. Actually, there is the thing. Most of us don't need weapons right at the moment.
It's 16.
16. Okay.
So possibly Mirren. I don't know if
He
you
looks a bit
know.
startled.
What's he?
He looks a bit startled. And then he sort of blurts out. He needs to get revenge against the inappropriate advances on his lover.
Okay.
His lover's honor has been sullied.
I say,
So he's a scorned lover.
Oh, no.
I tell him this.
Oh, we don't.
No, somebody
In
else
this-
is going up his.
I tell him, looking around the room, this isn't the time or place because you're not gonna get out of here if you go through.
He doesn't
this.
care.
Let me see if we can help you.
But you'll help me get revenge on. He basically says rapist at that point.
I tell him I will help him talk it through and get proper authorities involved.
The authorities won't do anything.
Who is the accused?
The bishop.
Bishop himself.
It was him all along.
Yep. Just take his hood off and you'll see the white hood underneath with KKK on it.
If I take the hood off, he's the ghost.
Yes.
He wants revenge for the bishop, basically taking his lover without permission.
Guards still not doing nothing.
No, because at the moment there's no violence shown, no matter,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't be saying that really loudly.
Yeah.
It would be something
No,
a
no.
quiet
Just
conversation off to the side.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping an eye out. And
I try to.
Doing the thing.
I'll try to intimidate him and try to say. No, what do I want to do? I tell him. Let's think about this clearly.
He's thought about it and he's willing to give his life to.
Let's think about this clearly so it doesn't hurt other people around us. Let me.
He only intends to hurt one.
But that doesn't mean that other people won't get hurt. Let's get my other friends involved.
Will they help him get revenge?
Let's talk to them.
Because well, the less people involved, the better. He doesn't want other people to be hung for his actions.
But that's a good question. I tried to intimidate him to stop at the time.
Sure. That's another intimidate check.
Yeah.
I even have DCs for these.
20 not natural.
Okay, he's happy to see what you and your friends say before he attacks the bishop.
Okay. Kind of get people.
But you think it's depending on what you say about it is what he'll do.
Diplomatic immunity.
I get all of us together and say, this young man here accuses the bishop of wronging his lover and wishes to take revenge.
Wait, that's fine. If he could move his hand from his jacket, that's unnerving. That'd be nice.
Yes.
What does he actually have? Has he stopped it? Is he, now that he's kind of somewhat warmed up to us, is he?
Pull his hand out.
He's not warmed up, he's just listening.
Wow.
Well, he doesn't want to accidentally poke himself with it.
Okay, so it's a blade. Righto.
Alright.
I'll just ask, can I ask him if, just tell us what happened?
Then he goes through how the bishop had pretty much raped his lover and did it all without permission.
Mm-hmm.
And very emotional about it. And he's very moving as it's basically makes everyone's eyes tear up with his moving rendition of how horrible the bishop is.
Pettidier was actually specifically did not join the group. He was staying after the monitoring the externals. So.
Do I believe him?
What was that, Cameron?
Do I believe him?
You do believe him.
I do? Okay, so there's no counter roll to that? Righto.
He comes across as very believable with the thing of the bishop believes himself untouchable by the authorities because most crimes are taken before him.
Are we?
He is also considered the town judge.
Yeah.
So he's just abusing his power by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to explain to him that we have business with the bishop, which we need to sort out.
We need him alive.
He what? Who lied?
We need the bishop alive until we know where the potion is.
And as you're discussing this, there's a fanfare as a tall, almost gaunt man in his early 70s stands in the door of the hall, and the mayor rushes up to greet him. Despite his age, the man appears healthy and strong, and exudes an aura of power and influence that you can even feel from across the room. He wears black robes and a purple cincture and a black skull cap rests on top of his grizzled, tonsured head. A large cross studded with onyx hangs around his neck, and a ruby ring is visible on his hand, even from across the room. And you can hear a whisper running around that the bishop has arrived as his robes flutter majestically.
Can I clock the young kid to see how he reacts, if there's a visible reaction?
Oh, yeah, there is a visible reaction.
Yeah, okay, so he wasn't. Okay, righto.
But it does look like he has the equivalent of robes of billowing.
He steps out and impresses the hell out of people.
What's
Yes.
As he seems to move through the most influential people of the room first.
Doing the rounds.
Yeah.
I might try and get me and Lani might try and pull this kid off to the side.
We already have him to the side as we're talking to him.
But like kind of a bit further away, because I imagine we got a direct invitation from this guy, didn't we? So he knows who we are. So he's going to come to us eventually.
Well, no.
Can't have this kid here.
I suspect it's more a case of he doesn't necessarily know who you are,
But
his staff added your name to the list. And in fact, I think is this being hosted by the bishop or being hosted by the mayor?
Hosted by the mayor, but pretty much is run by the bishop. So the bishop is the important person of the gathering, whereas the mayor is basically
but who sent the invitations out? Is it the case of the mayor's running it and he's hopefully allowing the bishop will hopefully attend his function, or is the bishop actually running it and the mayor's just hosting it?
You think the bishop is running it, and the mayor is just the figure person who runs and does everything he tells him to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get that sort of opinion.
But even then, it's still a case that the bishop didn't necessarily send out the invitations. It might have been the church staff thinking, "Oh, okay."
It was just a formal invitation from the office.
Yeah, could have been. I don't know, but
Okay.
And the fact that it had your full name is quite interesting.
Yes.
That's why I was a bit concerned about this, you know.
Lots of concern.
Yeah. I want to try and get this kid as far away as possible. I want to talk him out of doing what he's got to do and to leave it to
Well, he
us.
says, how are you going to handle it? So he needs you to tell him how you're going to provide justice for the crimes he has committed.
And I explain it to him in great detail.
What is that? Yeah.
And what is that you explain to him?
That
It involves
after our
weapons.
business is concluded with him, we will happily put him in a position to be judged by others. We'll put the bishop in a position to be judged by others.
Are you personally going to judge him? Is what he's asking.
And good judging the mace. Yeah.
There's Lani near me? Lani's near me. Isn't it?
Yep.
I kind of flex a bit and I say, I'll be the judge.
So give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
I'll help her with that.
You get advantage on the roll.
Okay.
I'll let you roll because my persuasion's terrible.
3.
A 3.
Wow.
That was the best you got.
That's the best I got.
He doesn't seem to be like he's actually believing you right now, so I might get the paladin to then do a persuasion roll for advantage, just to see how well he comes across.
Yeah.
Dear.
That's cocked. I've got nothing in persuasion, so that's a top of 10.
Top of 10. Between the two of you, he doesn't seem to be that impressed with what you're actually saying you're going to do.
Yeah.
Title's nearby. Does Title chime in? Because he just...
You're a monk, aren't you? Can you just not knock
You've just
him the
had
fuck out?
someone actually say that the bishop is a criminal and he's getting away for horrid crime.
And party knowledge is that he's not to be trusted.
Title Ray doesn't trust this bishop person because he's willingly wearing curtains for stuff.
and billowing curtains, mind
Billowing
you.
curtains, exactly.
Yes.
Like
Plus, it's obvious we were walking into a trap to start with, so it's obviously untrustworthy.
technically speaking, I should run up to him and punch him now, but you know,
So why not?
because we have to sort out this guy with the dagger at the moment.
And currently you see the paladin going, well, we'll sort of get around to it, and you've got Lani
And
doing
Elaine's
this.
like,
We're going to really, just...
because we kind of want to talk to him first before we start stabbing him.
Give me a diplomacy roll, persuasion roll. I'll give you advantage in that too, because you do have all these, people backing you up.
What,
Come on,
wanna
man.
kill him?
It's just one
Yeah,
more
well,
drink,
I'll
man.
help
Come
you
on.
I thought the question was when, not how.
Yes, but
But
the thing
you
is,
have to
you haven't
convince
been
him.
very good at convincing him that there was going to be a win.
Okay.
Yeah, because he wants a win.
And not a solid win.
Natural 20.
Okay, so
Yeah,
apparently
yeah,
he believes the monk is she's the monk goes, we'll handle him. Looking at the draping curtains.
Anybody who willingly wears curtains in my book has to die.
The only thing is a wizard, he just fireball it.
I ask where can I want to ask this kid to leave.
He's happy to leave after hearing
Where can we find
Title's statement of what's going to happen. He'll be outside waiting for the screams.
You're not gonna have a turn.
I tell him take care of your lover because she needs you in this time.
She died.
Oh, she died.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. Awkward.
She-
Well, that just put a slightly darker spin. I'm like, I can't talk.
It's a little.
Never
Well,
mind.
then it's a little bit
Let's move
more
on.
than she was raped. She was killed.
But that was what caused her death.
Yeah. So.
So I'm assuming that with the arrival of the bishop, the guards and the like have
Because
not
the
actually paid
authorities did not
attention to
believe
this.
her accusations.
Mm-hmm.
So she was considered the false one.
Dramatic question about the guards.
I'm assuming with the arrival of the bishop that during this conversation, the guards around the area have not paid any particular attention to this random gathering of people.
They do seem to be watching more in your direction. They seem to be more alert now that the bishop has arrived.
Yep. But are they paying attention to thinking about what that group over there is actually talking about, or is it just generally alert?
They are far more alert than they were before. So they,
Okay.
they do seem to be looking at each gathering.
Yeah.
So,
But not necessarily the gathering of them in particular.
Not
so
particularly.
POTUS has showed up. Everyone's on their game.
And so he leaves quietly.
Alright.
And then the bishop walks towards you.
Have we all gathered again as a group, or are we still
You
kind of
are
somewhat
currently
split
gathered
up?
as a group after having that discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the parody is definitely still keeping his distance from everybody because
Yep. And
As-
Tidal
he's
did-
maintaining
As he
Overwatch.
approaches,
With the billowing robes.
yeah, I tell you guys to let me know when it's time to remove the curtains. Just give me a signal, and I go and dance with someone.
Drizzle.
Because I was going to punch him. and he-
Drizzle take you out for a dance.
Yep, I go and dance with Drizzle. That's fine.
That
What's that
The
roll?
rolls
Show
are
me that
one.
roll. Martin,
What was that?
Drizzle
put the roll
got
into the thing.
a 1.
Yeah, another one. John.
Drizzle mimics Hercule's movements rather poorly.
Okay. Well,
Because he thought that's the thing.
Right, so you two are incredibly distracting to everybody.
Well,
So
I
what you're saying
roll
is that Drazzle dances quite well.
And he even gets his
No,
wings
it's
out quite a few
I
times.
rolled an
Which-
18 to copy Drizzle's dance.
Oh, gold.
So we're in sync, perfectly doing whatever the hell we're
Probably
doing.
doing this
He's using hands and wings
Yeah, so we're doing
on the dance floor, and you're
We-
noticing wings on the dance floor.
ritualistic thing. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is some weird ritualistic dance everyone's
And then he sends up a curtain of ice up over the dance floor. After it breathes up into the ceiling.
Right, so if anyone needs to do something that involves a distraction, we've got one.
Yeah, we're doing this. Me and Jazz have got this. You guys let me know when, and then I run over and punch this guy.
Okay, so as the bishop moves up towards you, he seems to give each of you an appraising look, seeming to take in your strengths and flaws in a single glance. And despite the scrutiny, he smiles politely and greets you, saying, "The blessing of St. Guillaume be upon you this night." And you each feel a surge of energy. As he says it.
Where's it? Bless this.
And he basically blesses each of you and moves on.
With what?
Oh, it's literally blessed.
With his cross.
Is it this spell bless?
We assume it's a boost. It could
Well,
be.
it could be, yeah,
Very
can
curtains for crying out loud.
it could be a demonic infestation.
Yeah.
Perception check to see if he has anything other than like the main castle.
Sure.
Hmm.
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, he seems to have one of those metal guns on his waist,
Okay.
as well as
He's armed at his own party.
as well as he seems to have you can see glints of knives under his robes.
Knives. This guy's not actually a bishop.
And
He's
he
also a rogue.
he also has a big glint of armor on as well, underneath.
He's got a stab vest on.
Yeah,
Um,
we do too.
Did I catch from him, knowing that I can actually cast bless? Was it bless that he cast on us?
He did give you a full blessing.
Oh,
Okay, full blessing. So what's the difference between that and
Well,
bless?
it affected.
As in, a person in this world actually gave you a blessing.
Yes, so we've
Like
just been
a
blessed-
magical effect.
We've just been blessed by a priest of death god.
Okay, so mainly the only reason I asked that is because it's concentration for him, if it is the spell, and it should only last a minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
So
that's
What
the only
was
reason
it?
I was asking.
It was actually magical.
Yeah, which is a bit discerning, but at least I know what the spell was.
And he seems to be going around blessing everyone, and it seems to be wearing off on the previous person when he blesses the next one.
Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So yes, he's not giving them blessings for long, but he is blessing them.
Yeah, because I'd be really concerned if he could bless them and then go and bless someone else and everything that means
But in
he's
this world,
pretty
you should
jacked.
be. In this world, you should be concerned that you can do magic at all,
Yeah, I am. Don't worry about
Oh
that.
yes.
irrespective of how long it lasts for.
But it's a bit ironic, but anyway.
Okay.
Should we try to see if we can talk to him?
Probably worthwhile. Once he's finished
Blessing.
blessing people and greeting people. Once he's actually, but before he's got too ensconced chatting to whoever he's talking to.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to ask them?
Just about potion or something.
Well, according to the White
Mostly,
Wizard,
I
he
want
does.
to get him alone. Away from all the
No.
guards.
Going to be easy.
No.
Well, finding out how he got invitations here.
Yeah, like,
Okay, he's
like
a
wiring
direct priest of the of basically the god of the world, and his god could quite happily feed him information.
Yeah.
Do we have anyone in the
It does
party
need
who's?
being paid attention to?
Yeah.
Do we have
Is anyone in the party who's like alchemy inclined, of a background of alchemy?
No.
Because the White Wizard's saying that he does dabble in alchemy,
Mm-hmm.
priest, and it could be like a line of inquiry that we could pursue to have a chat. Oh, hey mate,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah, we don't-
show me your alchemy lab.
yeah,
My
we don't
friend's an
really-
alchemist
we
as
don't
well.
really have anyone who can talk shop.
Right.
But also,
We can try.
but also, there's the element of that. If he's a priest of the religion, then he shouldn't really be an alchemist.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like maybe that's like a way we can,
Well,
we
because
kind
the
of
fact
have a
that-
bit of a.
But if you highlight the idea that you know that he's an alchemist,
Yeah.
then that's not necessarily likely to be a positive reaction.
I'm
No.
technically
It might be a reaction. It might be a reaction we're looking for, but it wouldn't necessarily be a positive
Not
one.
an alchemist.
no.
No.
And you see, he basically greets every group throughout the throng, spending over an hour greeting everyone.
I can make like incense sticks and stuff, but I can't make potions.
Does he have like a bodyguard following him?
Give me a perception roll.
7.
So done.
As far as you're concerned, no.
So he doesn't have anyone obviously following him.
Has Petter noticed anything, having been watching from the sidelines?
What did you get in your perception, Jeremy?
22.
Okay, so you and Lani do notice that a guy moving with the grace of a swordsman is following around in his wake, watching everyone around him.
And someone who is also not only the grace of a swordsman, but has the a slight bulge under his robe.
He seems to have 2 swords strapped over each shoulder.
So not very subtle about
So
it.
4 swords in all.
Yep.
How many swords does somebody need?
And
Can I
not to mention probably a rifle or something on his side.
And they seem to be all short swords.
I'd like to talk to the party and run it by.
Very roguey things.
I'd like to say to him like, if he's casting magic, that I know that he's casting magic. Would it be worth me with the message cantrip? Do I have to physically see the person?
Yes, you do, and basically it is visible to everyone else that you're doing it.
Yeah.
So if I tried to hide it and talk to him at the same time,
Don't be visible.
Yeah, because you have
he would know who's actually trying to do it. I can't hide in the crowd and try and do it.
You need to have a special ability to do it quietly.
It's also semantics, so you have to point at the person.
Yeah, which is why you want to do it undercover. So find a curtain to hide behind, and do it from there.
No, because what I'm thinking is that we talk to him to get him alone. We say, look, we know you're casting magic. I think we should have a bit of a sit down talk about it. Or something along those lines. Do you know what I mean? Because he's casting magic. He's a
but
bishop.
I'd want to word it carefully because otherwise we'd get arrested and disappeared.
I know, but that's what I'm. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I
I'm just trying to
understand
find ways to get him alone without.
Yeah, getting him alone. Yeah.
Maybe it piques his interest that someone's casting magic. Maybe it piques his interest to know who we are.
No, finding out there's someone who can tell he's doing it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that might be
Well,
might be worth it.
You did feel it quite obviously that someone had cast a spell on you. You'd
Yeah.
think everyone else here would
probably
quite
feel it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Particularly
but
since everyone's
if
so
Matt-
grey.
And basically they're getting the blessing of a god and they're feeling the actual blessing.
Yeah. So basically, he's walking around going, "Yes,
I'm touching you with
my
God.
God is powerful. I'm giving
That's
you
right.
some of it. You can."
So
feel
he's,
happy."
he's not passing it off as magic that anyone can potentially
Oh, God, no.
learn.
No,
He's saints.
it's the equivalent of he's running around as a saint of his god,
Yeah.
touching people with the might of his god.
Yeah, he's
That's
using-
right. I mean,
he's
if you
using
imagine the
divine
idea
power
of
public.
a Catholic meeting the Pope, any touch from the Pope is going to feel like magic.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like to people who are actually inclined magically, we know that it's just a bit of a ruse.
Yeah,
That yes,
it's-
okay, he's got
no,
the
no.
power.
It's-
I don't know about
no,
that.
It's
If you've
not
got
really
the-
a ruse. It's not really
If
a
you
ruse.
received a blessing from a cleric,
Yeah, that's real stuff.
that's really the faith of your God or
Yeah.
his God is helping you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
but
you-
they
if
see
you
it
were-
as
if you
they
were
see it
doing-
as fake.
no, if he were doing this using arcane magic, then he would be faking and it would be a ruse. He's honestly using the power of his God to give people a blessing.
It's divine
not-
magic that he's using.
It's
It's not a
divine,
ruse
okay.
at all.
That's all. No,
Right.
it's-
He's
Well,
honestly
we phrase
demonstrating his
that.
power.
Yeah.
It's apparently divine magic he's using.
Well, yes, but if it's a bless, well, actually, given the god involved, it's okay. Here it's complicated. It's an evil god, but it's still a bless spell.
That the god
That's
in
what I
question
mean.
is not necessarily evil.
No, but he's
He's not necessarily good.
He's not good, but
But most of those gods can provide banes
Okay.
as well as boons.
yeah. Well, this is a world where we managed to find a holy amulet of Orcus, and it's holy, not unholy. So yeah, he's throwing around divine power. It's entirely legitimate.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not legitimate,
No.
but what I'm trying to say is
He's-
that
He's using it
to the-
for political
to the
reasons.
uninitiated magically,
Oh yeah.
is he like flaunting this power to say like this is what I have from my God and this is what allows me to do this and you'll never have this, so here have a blessing?
Yeah.
But to the people who know that it's magic, we also know that it's
Well,
literally
it's
a blessed spell.
It's a divine. It's a gift from the god of that he's a bishop of.
Yeah.
They're not going to think about the mechanics of it. They're not going to think about, oh well, it's a spell. No, this is the touch of the god.
And for a brief moment in time, everyone here has been touched by their god.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they don't expect the god to hang around and look after them long term. The fact that their god has given them a
That's what
moment
the
of
church-
its time.
That's what the church is for.
Yeah. He's basically, if you want more time with the god, you go to the bishop.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just
I
trying
should
to find
point
a
out,
way,
Martin,
that's
that
all.
also that yes, if he was actually trying to get every person rather
Yep.
than just going to groups and getting the group type stuff, Penadere will aim to just circle around to the back, like behind him type stuff, to not actually be one of the individuals.
Okay, you are one of the people he does miss. He does see you and doesn't try to track you down.
Yes. I will sort of mentally take notes. If we ever need to form a cult, this guy's doing it good, and we can use pointers from him.
That's
What?
yeah, that's what I mean.
What I say, looking innocent.
How are we going to get him alone?
How are we going to get him away from his bodyguard?
That's probably not going to happen. But at least if we get him alone, he can be alone-ish. He can be a little bit more manageable.
Yes.
We got close combat fighters.
Having looked around and looked for the exits and everything from the room type stuff, are there areas where, are there little cul-de-sacs or anything like that in the room or on side rooms or things like that that might be suitable for such activities?
Quite possibly. And as you're thinking about this, a little card is dropped in Llewell's hand.
Okay.
As he looks around, he doesn't see who dropped it in his hand.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little circumspect on looking around. I'll go over and get a drink, and as I'm getting a drink, I'm going to have a look at what's on the card.
It's asking you to meet Azdarak after midnight.
That's the bishop's name. isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's got your name on it. Your full name.
Okay. Hmm.
Actually written in Elven.
Oh, gosh.
The whole card or
Yeah,
the name?
the whole card.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, you wanted to meet him?
That's true. I will wander around with my drink and I'll tell each of these what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I don't wanna get told.
And it mentions a side wing to meet him in.
Okay, so we have a location, a time.
So we didn't bring any weapons, or did we bring some?
You would have thought better not to take weapons into a place where they will probably search, as it's supposed to be a party.
This is a fancy French mansion. or whatever.
There are weapons on the.
Swords on the wall.
There are. They're these really thin-looking, pointy things, rapiers.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm good at this.
But there's lots of
I've got-
rapiers up on the wall.
Yeah, cool.
I've got a crossbow on me, but it's just not out.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing anything with that. I'm just gonna pretend that it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just fully calculating how best I can get my hands on a weapon.
And
as
plus,
soon as possible.
there's all these guys in purple clothes who have weapons on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'll just hand it to you once you knock them out.
Like, here, take a nap.
Yeah.
Be fine.
Yes.
I'm
I
sure they
still
won't need
think
it anymore.
that
Yeah,
I still think trying to talk to him and see what he's got is better than because he's got some pretty heavy guys around.
You should have grabbed the knife off the young kid you were talking to.
Oh yeah.
he walked off. He's outside.
Yeah, he actually accepted.
I'm sure there'd be nothing wrong carrying around a poison knife with you.
That's right.
Yeah, we'd know where to put it.
That was why he was holding it the whole time.
Yes. Yes.
He said he didn't want to scratch himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So what's the game plan?
Well, considering it's after 10:30, I believe you're going to have to wait till next session to figure out what happens next.
We can discuss it on Messenger.
Yep, I think
I-
this is a messenger conversation.
Yeah. I reckon trying to get him alone is the best bet. But anyway, we'll see.
Well, that won't be hard, considering he asked to meet you, or at least meet Llewell.
Yeah.
Yes. We.
I know, but he's gonna have to win him. Anyway.
Yeah, which is going to
Righto.
be sort of hi, here's the trap. Merry Christmas.
Basically.
You never know, it could be like, hey, here's the potion we know that you're after for some particular reason. Have a great night. Also, I'm going to take myself down to the constabulary and sign myself in for murder and rape.
You see, the reason he knows our names, and particularly Llewell's name, was the fact that there was a prophecy where he'd been holding on to the potion of time travel to give to you when you arrived.
Mm.
I'm not entirely sure that's the circumstance.
That would be the ideal.
One can only hope.
He's known about our arrival for generations.
Alright, thanks for the game. I'll talk to you over Messenger.
The young lady that was drinking the potions like water, she's met him before and warned him that we were coming.
Right.
Righto. See you later.
Have a good night, all. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you. All right.